field judge, Stephen Lucy.
They seem very mature.
We're going to get the captains of both teams to go to center field for the opening coin toss, please.
Everybody that acts professionally, you guys are here. You're the elite of your province. There's a reason why you're here. Enjoy it. Be polite. Play football. Play hard. Yeah, but still stay within the rules. Don't let the stripe decide. This is you guys' biggest game. I'll have more games to do later on. Trust me. Okay? Don't let the stripe decide the flow of the game for you guys. Okay? The whistle blows. We start playing. The whistle blows. We stop playing. Am I clear on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. What, I will say this in French first, and then I'll say it in English. Aucune maltraitance. OK? Ça veut dire langage, race, religion, rien. Ça ne sera pas toléré sur le terrain. On est clair là-dessus, les gars? OK? Avertissez vos coéquipiers que ça ne sera pas toléré. Je suis francophone, si je vous entends en français, ça ne passera pas non plus. C'est bon? All right. What I tell them, there will be no maltreatment, i.e., language, abusive language, religion, race, anything like that won't be tolerated. You will be flagged. You will be removed from the game.
Yes, sir.
I hope everybody's clear on that.
Yes, sir.
Don't mess up your tournament for something that's stupid. Okay, guys?
Yes,
you're old enough. You're smart enough. Pass the word around. Okay? Are we all happy? Yeah. Any questions for me before I do the coin flip? Quebec, aucune question? No. BC, you're good. You're the visiting team. Okay, you will be calling the coin flip. My coinless head, tails. Is okay. In the air. If it hits anybody on the way down, we'll redo the coin flip. All right, sir? 12 in the air, please. Tails is gone. Tails it is. Tails it is. Okay. Your choice? You would like to defer. Very good. BC has won the coin toss, selected to defer. Just a second, I gotta go face the other side, all right? Thank you. BC has won the coin toss, selected to defer. Quebec. Keypad, gentlemen, lights, all that good stuff, okay? Quebec wants to receive which end is like the center thing.
Take this way, Matt.
We're staying the way we are?
Yeah.
Very good, coach. BC will be kicking off. Quebec will be receiving. 1 second, gentlemen. BC will be kicking off. Québec va recevoir. Shake hands. Let's have a good game, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are set here for the third game of this 2024 Football Canada Cup between number 2 ranked Quebec and number 7 ranked BC. My name is Chris Haddisbeck. I am joined by my good friend Olivier Eddy. Olivier, how we doing?
Very good, Chris. It's good to be back in the booth with you. Third game today. Midway-ish through our 16-game commitments of doing U16 and U18 championships here in Regina.
Yep. It's excited to be here at beautiful Mosaic Stadium in Regina, Saskatchewan. Day one of this tournament. Looking forward to a good game. We've seen Team Ontario win in the first game earlier today, and then Team Alberta come out with a win versus Team New Brunswick the game before this. So looking forward to this one, our second last game of the day.
No upsets so far today, but I'll tell you what, number 2 Quebec, obviously a heavy favorite to even win this tournament. They are always top class. They're playing against what I think might be a surprising team, BC. BC being ranked 7th, but there's some special players on that roster. Walking around during warm-ups, it was hard to ignore 2 receivers with frames of 6'5", a quarterback who seems to be a gunslinger at 6'3", and some speedy receivers as well. I'm excited to see what Team BC can do today as number 7 ranked underdogs. Andrew
Lawson set to kick this one off for BC. That kick's going to land around the 20-yard line. Have to pick it up off the bounce. That's for forward Antoine. Makes a nice cut there and brought down just shy of the 35-yard line.
Team Quebec, led by head coach Alex Surprenant. Coach Surprenant is a second-year head coach here in the program. He's been in the program since 2019. Congratulations to him. He is now the head coach at McGill University. He's about 4.5 months into his tenure. He's going to enter his first season, so good luck to him. He also has with him Sheriff Nicolas, head coach of Bishop's University. The coaching staff is stacked with youth sport coaches.
That is an awesome achievement for head coach Alex Surprenant as we see them hand it off here on first down. Nice cut on the play. That's number 2, Belbenoit Adam. 24 carrying the ball there, Marie Sebastien.
Marie Sebastien with the carry from Collège Notre-Dame, Pointe-Claire, Quebec. One of the, I think, maybe advantages for Team Quebec is that they have 3 returning O-linemen from last year's squad. That's a lot in one unit. So I'm interested to see if they decide to keep the ball on the ground a lot, especially early in this game, and see if they can establish their offense that way.
So Louis in at quarterback. Takes a snap. He's going to look to pass this one right away. Looks to his right. Zips that one in. Great throw on the play there to number 14, Fafard Antoine, with a nice first down play.
Antoine Farrar with from the Pirates de Richelieu, Mont-Saint-Hilaire, with the reception right in the middle of the field. That's a big-time first down. I'll do my best to pronounce the names in French, having a bilingual background, but if you're looking for the French broadcast, it does exist. So you can go and find it on Football Canada's YouTube channel. You'll see a French broadcast. We're going to stick to English here, and once in a while I'll slide in a little bit of French for our friends from La Belle Province.
Cole Shanks with the tackle there for the BC defense. Quebec going to throw this one. That one's complete into the swing route there. Breaks one tackle. Flag down on the play. Caught by number 21, Kieta Jonathan.
Number 21, Andrew Gaumont with the reception, running back out of Collège de Montreal. Penalties indication looks to be against Team BC. Quebec right away showing their prowess on offense. They've kicked off this game pretty fast.
Yeah, some high-speed offense here from Quebec.
I was talking to their head coach before the game. I had a chance to just exchange a few words. I asked him, I said, look, you're ranked number 2. Does that put any pressure on you? And he said, no. He said, our athletes, the moment they start trying out, they know what's expected of them. They know they always compete for gold medal, and that's what they're looking to do this week here in Regina.
Louis takes the snap. He's going to look to throw. He zips it in there, son. Wide open over the middle. Nice throw on the play. That's going to be a 47-yard touchdown for Team Quebec.
That's Olivier Dallaire.
Charpentier Tristan set to kick this one. And I will apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. Unlike Olivier, I am not bilingual, but I will do my best.
But we all know, Chris, that I'll make my mistakes too pronouncing these young athletes' name. But Tristan Charpentier with the extra point attempt. He nails it through 4 rows deep into the stands. That kid's got a leg.
Yeah, apologies. Just realizing that on my roster list, the first name and last name are switched from every other roster, so I'll apologize for that.
We'll battle through it. So Charpentier is handling both the kicking and punting duties. He's out of Collège Notre Dame, and that's his sole job here on this team, is to do the kicking punter. So he's obviously a specialist, and they're lucky to have him. That first boot looked like went pretty deep. Looks like he'll be probably able to hit field goals as far as 40. So we got a chance to see the BC offense for the first time here as they get ready for kickoff return. I mentioned 2 receivers, 6'5", Logan Rubel, 235 pounds, 6'5", Brady Schutz, both receivers. That's a lot of size. And you know, their coach, Corey Philpott, he knows all about receivers. He's got a son in the CFL, or wait, he's got 2 kids in the CFL. They played against each other this weekend. Pretty special moment for head coach Corey Philpott, I'm sure.
So Quebec will kick this one away. Nice kick caught around the 13-yard line by the BC returner there. Nice lead block there by his special teams teammate there. Nice job getting to about the 36-yard line.
So we'll take a first look at this offense. I think it's led by quarterback out of Kamloops, Liam Connolly, 6'3", 205-pound prototypical quarterback. It'll be interesting to see if they come out as a gunslinger type of mentality, because he does have a big arm. I saw that in the warm-ups.
It is Connolly set to lead this first drive for the Team BC offense. Connolly takes a snap, hands it off to Clearwire there, and brought down right away, only maybe a gain of 1 or 2 on the play.
That's Peterson Claude, defensive lineman out of Drummondville, with the tackle, limiting the BC gain. It's going to be 2nd and long.
Peterson Claude, not easy to miss out there. We have him listed as 6'3", 285, and that big defensive lineman.
I am impressed with the size of these young athletes. This is the U18 level. They're not playing university yet. But my goodness, there's some big athletes on the field.
Connolly and Clearwire in the backfield once again. Connolly takes a snap, has to look there. He's going to scramble to his left. He finds Clearwire in the backfield, or in the swing pass there, but brought down right away, and that's going to be short of the first down.
It's a gain of 5, but it's not enough to move the 6. BC will be forced to punt here. If you're tuning in on YouTube, we can see your comments, so feel free to communicate, go back and forth with us. We'll try to involve you in the broadcast. I think it keeps it fun to be able to interact from you with you back home. So let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering on, and we'll try to give you some shout outs here and there.
Andrew Lawson set to punt this one away. Good snap on the play. Does a good job to catch that one there. That's going to be caught around the 40-yard line by Team Quebec. Makes one person miss, and then brought down right away after that.
Good punt, even better return. Team Quebec will take the ball over on their own 52-yard line or 51-yard line. Good field position for them as they look to capitalize on their second drive.
Apologies, we do not have the returner's number on our roster here, so I'm not sure the name of that athlete. As Quebec will start here on the 50-yard line. Fortier in at quarterback still, looks left, looks right, quick screen pass there, does a nice job. Great play by the Team BC defensive back there. That is number 33, Jack Roberts. Loss of 1 on the play.
Team British Columbia has a bit of an added challenge. Most of their athletes, they play American football at the high school level, so they're not used to 12-on-12 football. After this play, we'll go back to it.
Forte taking a deep shot right. That one's going to be bobbled and dropped on the play. Great throw by the quarterback, but falls incomplete.
Big pressure by Team BC, taking a gamble there again, not shy of going cover zero. But back to that, we talked to Coach Philpott, and he kind of mentioned, he said, look, yeah, it's an extra challenge for us. We don't play Canadian football as much in British Columbia, so they play a lot of American ball down there. What he did with his team to try to get them to kind of get to know each other, get the rules, down and get through that hurdle, because it is an extra hurdle, learning curve, is that they had the tryouts way earlier in the year compared to years before. They even had an exhibition game leading up to the tournament, and he felt like that helped them kind of get together and get through that challenge.
Carpentier set to kick this one away, gets a nice one away. That one's going to land at the 15-yard line there, caught in the air and brought down, breaks a tackle there actually, and then finally brought down at the 10-yard line by that Quebec special teams unit. Team BC will take over here on the 11-yard line.
So Wong, we're just getting that information from the head coach of Team BC. So he just mentioned that most of his players play American football. Yes, of course, there's Canadian leagues as well in BC, but it is split, as you say.
Liam Connolly takes a snap, turns, hands it off to his running back in the backfield there. Met right away, though, for maybe a gain of 1 or 2. That is number 22 with the carry, Pharaoh Hassan.
And yes, number 80 is actually number 15 in our program. So that's Tyler Mercier, the yellow helmet for Team Quebec. So he's wearing 80, even though he's probably 15 on the listed rosters online, on the ones in front of us. He was the punt returner and a receiver for Quebec, so we'll try to get that right moving forward.
Liam Connolly in the gun. Takes the snap. Play action, looks to pass, looking right. Not there. He's going to have to scramble it here himself, and he's not going to get the first down, and that's going to be a big stop by the Team Quebec defense, forcing another punt situation.
Yeah, and Alex Suprenant, the head coach of Team Quebec, as we talked about earlier, I asked him, I said, look, what's the strength of your team? Where are you strongest? And he said, it's not like we have like a major superstar somewhere. We're just really well-rounded. So expect that defense to be swarming around. Expect different players to get into the game, both on offense and defense. Quebec feels like they've got some good depth on their team. It's not like they're going to go to one guy the entire time or rely on one athlete. They're a very balanced team, according to the head coach.
BC set to punt this one away. Standing right on his goal line there. Takes a snap. Gets a decent punt away. Going to be caught at the 15-yard line there. Cuts in there, and that is number 15, or number 80 on the roster, but number 15, Tyler Mercier, doing a nice job catching that in the air.
Anderson and Jackson both down there on the coverage. Good job by the Gunners, limiting that Quebec return to 5 or 6 yards, but Quebec still takes possession here on on BC's 38-yard line. Good field position for Quebec.
We've seen quarterback Louis Fortier showing off that arm strength. He's playing great so far, giving his team a chance. Had one nice touchdown pass. As he gets the snap, he's going to look to throw again, this time looking deep to the left. Once again, puts that on the money and brought down at the 5-yard line.
Louis Fortier, 15-year-old quarterback, not a senior on his team at all. He's a first-year player. He's on the younger age group, and he's a starting quarterback for Team Quebec, and he's shown us that he deserves that spot.
Noah Barth with the reception there for for Quebec, sorry. First and goal now, ball on the 5-yard line. 5 minutes left here in the first quarter. Team Quebec leading 7-0 over BC. Fortier takes a snap, turns, hands it up. Play action that time. He's going to try and hit that corner route there, intended for number 14. Antoine Fafard falls incomplete.
Chris, I'm getting a notification here that In Quebec, it's also American football rules until the U Sport level. I'm surprised to hear that. I feel like I knew a bit more than that about Football Quebec in the CJET level. I thought there was 12 aside, but clearly I'm making a mistake there, according to our friends in the chat.
Interesting. You know, you'd think you'd be playing Canadian football rules, of course, but I guess not. As he'll take the snap here, he's just going to play action and keep it himself, try and run in there, and he will break a tackle, showing his strength on the run. That's number 18 this time at quarterback, Zachary Deschamps.
Good change of pace on the offense there, perhaps a more of a short yardage package with the second quarterback, but Quebec showing they've got depth on their roster and they can put different guys in on the field. It's an early 13-0 start for the number 2 ranked Team Quebec. So according to the chat, Quebec plays 12 versus 12, but with 4 downs. So it's Canadian football with 4 downs. Someone's going to have to explain to me that one, because I don't understand why the mix in rules.
No.
I think we've got a great game in Canadian football, and I'm surprised to hear that some provinces elect to change the rules, but it's, to each their own, I suppose.
Yeah, you would. I guess I shouldn't speak out of turn, but I would hope that you would see provinces playing, the same game across the country. And we've known about BC playing American football in some of the leagues there for quite a while. Obviously, with SFU there, and with the news, of course, of their football team. Unfortunately, they're losing that. But if both teams have athletes that are not used to this, it's going to be a bit of a battle for both.
It's going to be a learning curve for everybody. Yeah.
So Team Quebec will take a early 14-0 lead over Team BC. 4:33 left here in the first quarter of our third game at the Football Canada Cup here in Regina. Quebec will kick that one off, caught on the 10-yard line there. Has some blockers that time, makes one cut, and finally brought down around the 28-yard line. That is Dante Meyer with the return for Team BC. Brought down by Sasha Duran. So BC will start 1st and 10, ball on the 29-yard line. Liam Connolly still in at quarterback from Westside Secondary in Kamloops. Jackson Clewire still in the backfield with him. Connolly will take it, look to pass, quickly look on that slant route there. Good coverage on the play, though, by the Quebec defensive back.
That's Heaven Lacombe, and I hope I'm saying his name right, because I know he's got families and friends in the group chat. His brother played on the U20 Team Canada team, who just won the IFAF World Championships. They defeated Japan to win the gold medal. A tournament that was fun to watch, fun to see Team Canada finish first. Dare I say, fun to see Team USA not in the gold medal game?
I think you can fairly say that, although we might have some Team USA fans in the chat.
Nice rivalry between the two countries.
Connolly will look to pass, looks right to number 1, Dante Meyer, but that's going to fall incomplete and force a 3rd and long now for Team BC.
Team BC going to like to go and punt here. Team Quebec showing an early dominance in this first quarter, getting the best out of BC on O&D. Keep chatting in the chat. It's fun for us. We get to read your comments, learn a bit more, and things have been great.
Tyler Mercier set to return.
Sorry, Chris. As I see a number of Regina Riot alumni and board members and current players who are volunteering here today and helping the team at Football Canada and at Football Saskatchewan put on a great tournament. It's a lot of work. U16, U18, back-to-back tournaments. We have 16 games altogether in 2 different venues.
Andrew Lawson gets this one away. That one's going to land out of bounds, though. We'll see where they mark it. Thinking it's around the 50-yard line as the official here waits for the athletes to move out of his way.
Lawson not happy with that one, hitting himself in the helmet afterwards, saying, oh, no, no. It's not that bad of a result when the ball goes out of bounds. I mean, you're limiting the returner to 0 yards. You know there won't be any no-yard penalties. for not respecting the halo. So it's not that bad of a job. I'm okay with a punt that goes out of bounds.
Fortier still in at quarterback for Quebec. Gaumont and Chieta in the backfield. Hands off to Gaumont there on the left side there. And short gain on the play. Good job by that BC defensive line that time. So that's going to force a 2nd and 8 now. Ball on the 50-yard line for this Quebec offense. Fortier will take it, look to throw, looks left, throws left. They're dropped on the play though. That's going to force a 3rd down now. Good job by that BC defense.
I'm really impressed by young quarterback Louis Fortier. I think he's throwing the ball really well, strong arm, especially for an athlete who's 1 year younger than most of his teammates. Quebec has been passing the ball very well, but a couple of drops has cost them.
BC will send out the punt team for this one, or Quebec, sorry.
Matthew, I agree with your comment. Number 9, Landon, and we keep mispronouncing his name, but Landon Dingy, I believe, played a great game for Team New Brunswick a couple of hours ago here as we see a nice booming punt by Team Quebec.
That's a great job, and that's a great job by the cover team there for Quebec with a big hit on the play.
Yaya and Yaye. I probably got that wrong, but a defensive back, number 4, great job on the coverage. He arrived, I would say, precisely at the 5-yard halo mark, full speed, making a great tackle. That's a great job by the punt unit.
Yeah, and a great punt by Tristan Carpentier as well on that one. He's had a good game punting and kicking so far. So BC will start 1st and 10 on the 13-yard line. Liam Connolly in at quarterback.
Dylan Laterreur getting some love from his neighbors watching the game.
Short to no gain on the play, maybe a yard or 2. Gain of 2, so that's going to be 2nd and 8. Matthew Chapman with the carry there for Team BC. Liam Connolly lines up with 3 to his left, 2 to his right. He takes the snap, fakes it that time. He does actually hand it off there. Good speed by the ball carrier there. Runs over one defensive back and moves the chains for a 1st down.
Matthew Chapman with a big run. That's the running back from Kelowna, BC. It's a big play that BC needed. You know, they've struggled a little bit, a couple of 2 and outs, and it's good for them to get the 1st down as the first quarter is nearing an end.
Got a great crowd out there, loud crowd from both provinces. Connolly gets a snap, hands it off. Blown dead though, we'll see here. It looks like maybe a procedure call. Today's officials for this game are referee Francis Couture, umpire Lori Tursky, down judge Dakin Bador, line judge Jim Shepard, side judge Marv Mullaney, back judge Zach Jerkovitz, and field judge Stephen Lusink.
Receiver Hudson Jones out of Kamloops getting some love.
But it is a procedure call that backs up BC 5 yards. 1st and 15, ball now on the 25-yard line. Connolly and Chapman in the backfield. Connolly gets it, looks quickly, quick screen pass there. That looks backwards, gonna have to be careful here. Brought down by number 10 there, and brought down right away by the Montreal defense as well.
That was read from start to finish by the the Team Quebec linebacker. Big loss on the play. 2nd and extra long for Team BC.
Nice play by number 27, Antoine Bedon. Forcing a 2nd and long. Quebec defense playing good.
And I said linebacker there. Antoine Beaudoin plays defensive back. Apologies on that, but I think he's kind of the Sam linebacker, dime linebacker type of look. Now our friends here who play American/Canadian football might have different terminology.
Connolly gets it, throws over the middle there, complete there, and that's going to be enough for a BC first down.
This time it's big Logan Rubel. That's a 6'5", 235-pound receiver out of Kamloops. Big target over the middle. A nice catch on second and 21?
Yeah, big play here for this BC offense. Hard to miss that receiver over the middle there.
Big play for BC. They needed that.
First down, BC.
It's going to move the chains. Logan Rubel out of West Side Secondary in Kamloops. Nice throw by Liam Connolly, also out of West Side Secondary, so teammates on the throw and catch there. As we see number 22, Pharaoh Hassan, come in here at running back from Langley.
Teo getting some love.
Connolly gets a snap. He's going to pass, blown dead though, and throws that away before he gets hit there, even though the whistles did blow. We'll see. Looks like the play was not blown in yet, as the sticks on that far side weren't even close to being ready.
That was Jacob Moret coming from his defensive back position, blitzing the hammer blitz. But the official had not blown this one in, so we're going to repeat 1st and 10.
Yeah, the sticks on the far side were not quite ready yet, so play not blown in, as we see the head official here, Francis Couture, talking to the Montreal coach.
Now, Chris,
Quebec coach.
As we've seen all day, and we've seen with U16, it seems like every team in this tournament is playing more than one quarterback, including in the first quarter or first half. We see BC with a new QB on the field. Uncommon.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's a dangerous throw there, complete though. Nice catch on the play by number 22, Pharaoh Hassan, doing a good job coming down with that one.
Quebec going the exact same playing call, half-pack blitz on the boundary. Didn't hide it at all, but BC wasn't able to capitalize on that. It's 2nd and 9.
Parker Orr in at quarterback here. So that brings us to the end of the first quarter. Quebec leading Team BC 14-0 in what's been an exciting game so far. Some big plays from both sides. Quebec showing their skills on offense. Louis Fortier playing great at quarterback.
Yeah, the young quarterback's been very impressive. He's been top class and one of the best we've seen so far in the tournament. I want to comment on uniforms quickly.
Go for it.
Love that black and orange from BC. Loves the baby blue from Quebec as well. I feel like the kids, they're lucky nowadays. They're getting some swaggy uniforms.
They are. We talked about the U16 Team BC jerseys the other day. Very similar to the old gunmetal ones that the BC Lions wear. And there's nothing wrong with taking inspiration from that, as they're one of the nicest jerseys that we've seen in the CFL.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of CFL, we're at a CFL stadium. It's Mosaic Stadium here in Regina, Saskatchewan. It's a sunken bowl. As I look through the window, we've got some heavily wavering flags at if you will, ground level, but this field is 2 stories below grade, so the players, they're not feeling the wind at all. As a matter of fact, the flags on the top of the uprights, they're not even moving, while the flags outside the stadium are wavering heavily. So the beauty of the stadium, it's absolutely wind sheltered. It should not have an effect on the game, or at least a very minimum one, as we start the second quarter here. It's just been a beautiful day here at Mosaic Stadium.
So Parker Orr still in at quarterback here for BC from Vancouver College. He'll take the snap, high snap there. Does a good job to get it down though. Brought down right away though by that Quebec defensive line.
Quebec has been dominant on the line of scrimmage. They're imposing their will. They're physically strong, and they're forcing BC to punt here on 3rd and 11.
Nice play by defensive lineman number 99, Emily Paradis, 6'2", 260, making a nice play there at the line of scrimmage.
Emile Paradis, as well as a number of his teammates, are listed on the between 6'1" and 6'4". It's a big front seven for Quebec, and it's also a big offensive line for Quebec. I've got a feeling that all tournament long, we're gonna see them stop the run and also try to run the ball quite a bit.
We saw him out as a team captain for Quebec as Andrew Lawson gets set to punt this one away. Nice snap on the play. That one's going to go to his left there, bounces short there, and heading towards the sideline, and that's all the returner can do.
Such an intelligent play by the returner, and I think this is undercoached in Canadian amateur football. The returner knows he's not going to be able to get any yards, but by touching the ball before going out of bounds, there's a chance that he's going to get a penalty in his favor with the no yard, the 5-yard halo rule, and that's exactly what happened on this play. The returner didn't have any business catching it to get extra yards, but by touching the ball, his teams will benefit here from no yards penalty.
That's going to move the ball up to the 27-yard line, and that's where Quebec will start this drive. Louis Fortier still in at quarterback for Quebec. Sebastian Marie in the backfield. Fortier takes a snap, is going to look to throw this time. He's going to go deep over the middle once again, and a great reception on the play there by the Quebec receiver.
That's Olivier Dallaire, who goes up, all 6 foot tall of him, goes up. And, I've called out the Quebec receivers earlier. I said there's been a couple of draws, so they sure showed me wrong on that one. It's a beautiful catch over the middle.
That's going to move the chains for a first down. Ball now on the 45-yard line. Fortier takes that snap. Play action, going to look to throw another deep shot over the middle. This time he has a receiver open again, and that's another big chunk play for this Quebec offense.
It's Olivier Dallaire again. BC keeps sending pressure against the quarterback. I am in awe with this young quarterback from Quebec who has pressure in his face and just delivers rocket pass one after another, precision passes down the field. Impressive football by the young QB.
Yes, Louis Fortier, you said 15 years old, 6'4", 210 already, and he's showing his arm strength today.
He's the only player listed out of Mascouche, Quebec. So he's here without his teammates, and he's playing really well.
Takes a snap this time, looks to throw a little pick, pump fake. Going to take a deep shot again over the middle, and that is another touchdown for Quebec.
This was Antoine Fafard who gets the reception in the end zone. Again, the quarterback play out of Louis Fortier, absolutely incredible. Now there is a flag down on the play.
And it's going to be, we'll see here. So I believe it's potentially a roughing penalty after the touchdown against Quebec. So the touchdown's going to stand as they will attempt an extra point here.
Team Quebec looking powerful, capable on offense, defense, and specials. They're a strong team, and they've showed this so far in this first half. It's about to go up 21-0 with 9:50 left in the second quarter against a fairly athletic and strong BC team. I'm impressed by what La Belle Province has been able to give us so far.
Charpentier set to kick this one away, and it is good. That will give Quebec a 21-0 lead over Team BC with 9 minutes and 52 seconds left here in the second quarter.
All right, so Chris, let's say you're playing defense for Team BC. You're facing 3 returning O-linemen from Team Quebec. You know they can run the ball well, so you've blitzed quite a bit so far to try to stop that, but young quarterback has ice-cold veins, takes the pressure, delivers strikes down the field all the way down for touchdown. What's your answer?
I think right now you're going to have to try something different, obviously. This quarterback is punishing them when they blitz. He's got great arm strength, putting it on the money. His receivers are beating the defensive backs. As you mentioned, 3 returning O-line. They're not getting the pressure that they thought, so they might be better off just playing back, putting some more defenders back there to protect the pass.
Yeah, and it's a tough place to be. You know, this Team Quebec, and that penalty early on,
Roughing the passer, actually, yeah.
We thought it was against Team Quebec, but
there, yep.
against Team British Columbia. So Quebec will have a chance to pin BC really deep. And the BC returners right now are not standing in the end zone. They're standing on the 10-yard line and 5-yard line. They need to back up, and they need to do so fast.
Yeah, we've seen Charpentier's leg strength. We know he can get it back there. As we see now, they must have heard you talking as their BC returners are taking steps into the end zone. As Quebec will kick this off from the BC 50 after that penalty. And they will kick it into the end zone, heading towards that sideline. Caught in the end zone, they will just take up a knee, give up the single, and get the field position.
All right, 22 zip. You're giving up 1 point to get 35 yards here. Might be a good decision on Team BC. Conservative for sure, but nothing to lose as they're trying to get some decent field position. It gives them a chance to get a drive going and try to get a touchdown here.
Yeah, definitely not a bad idea by the BC returner and coaching staff there. Take this field position and don't put yourself in a tough spot.
The crowd here online, they want Matt Chapman to get the ball more for BC, so we'll see what the BC coaching staff elects to do.
Parker Orr still in a quarterback now for BC. Orr takes a snap, quickly looks to his right, throws behind the receiver. That's going to fall incomplete. Intended for number 28, Ridley Maston. So 2nd and 10 now. Olivier, we've seen this Quebec defensive line get pressure from up here, way up in the booth. They do look like they have some great size on that D-line.
They sure do. The Quebec team looks like they're fairly complete.
Or takes the snap, is going to look to throw that time, has time, finds a receiver out of the backfield there. Brought down right away, though, by the Quebec defensive player.
Well, that is Chapman finally getting the ball for BC as the crowd is at. Expected to the score to not be so close. You've got, number 1 plays number 8. In this scenario here, number 2 plays number 7. It's not expected for these games to be super close. If you're ranked number 7 like Team BC, you want to play well today and you want to try to win your second game. That's where you got a real chance of changing your ranking and improving from year to year.
Andrew Lawson set to kick this one away. It's a very nice punt away. That's going to be caught around the 43-yard line by the Quebec returner. Has room on the sideline there. And push out of bounds. They're going to have to be careful. A good job by the BC defender to let up there.
And that was close. I think the official was considering throwing a flag there, but none will be given. Team Quebec will begin their drive
Olivier Dallaire on the
BC's
return.
Territory on the 52-yard line. Sorry,
yeah,
Chris.
You're right. It was close to being a bit rough, but the BC cover player there did a nice job. That is number 67, Evan Hamilton, letting up there on the sideline.
Yeah, and it's a smart thing to do. You don't want to cost your your team too much. That's maybe a bit selfish and getting a late hit in, so that's intelligent football playing.
Louis Fautier still in a quarterback. Number 24 in the backfield, Sebastien Maury. Motions, Fortier's going to throw this one, look to his right. Quick throw, that's knocked down at the line of scrimmage, though, by the BC defender.
BC is ranked number 7 in the country. That is correct. That's because they had a hard time in the last Canada Cup. The way the rankings work, it's pure and simple. Wherever you finish in the standing the previous year is where you'll be ranked to start the year. So Quebec is ranked 2nd after earning a silver or a 2nd position last year. BC, I believe, had lost their first game against either Nova Scotia or New Brunswick. I don't recall. Ended up being in 7th position. So BC has a long way to go.
Samson Schachter with the knockdown there as Fortier looks to throw it this time. He's going to take another deep shot on the right side. That time it's double covered, and that's going to be intercepted on the play. Flag down, though. This one's going to be coming back as there is going to be a pass interference call on the play. Nice job by the BC player on the interception. Unfortunately, this will be coming back.
Yeah, and Tyler Mercier was, not fully open in all fairness, bit double covered, but the BC defender, it's hard to miss that one. It basically tackled Tyler before the ball arrived. So that's an easy penalty for the officials. Now, Not a bad penalty to take when you think you're beaten, because in amateur football, it's a 15-yard penalty. It's not going to be a spot foul, so they're not going to gain 40 or 50 yards out of this. They'll only gain 15.
We wait for our official to make the call. Pass interference, of course, being the call there against BC, so that's going to move the ball up. First down, Quebec now. Two backs in the backfield with Fortier. Those backs motion up. This time hands it off inside there, but brought down right away by that BC D lineman. Two of them in the play there, including number 55, Dax Williams.
There you go. Good play by Team British Columbia. You can feel their bench and the crowd being uplifted. They needed a good positive play, and that's one right there, forcing second and long.
Second and 11 now coming up. Ball on the 37-yard line. Quebec leading Team BC here. 7:40 left on the clock here in this first half. We've seen Fortier's arm strength. I have a feeling they're going to take another deep shot here. Fortier will turn, will be a play action. Just a screen pass this time. He's got lots of room outside, and he's got linemen leading the way with him. Makes a cut there, and a nice job by that BC defender to limit the gain there. That's number 7, Samson Chatcher, coming down from behind and saving a potential touchdown.
Important tackle, because Andrew Gaumont, was a good play call by Team Quebec, and he was getting himself a nice head of speed, and he's a athletic running back, so very important tackle.
A well set up screen. We've seen them take lots of deep shots on second and long that time, so taking advantage of the aggressive BC defense and getting a big first down there.
Lots of fans on the chats are surprised to hear that Team BC is not one of the top provinces in this tournament. Chris, we've done the U16 games as well. BC finishing third out of 4 provinces. BC's shown some good job, but they're fairly new to the Canada Cup tournament. They were away from the tournament for a number of years. They're just kind of clawing their way back in, and again, a competitive team, but Quebec just showing that they're a bit stronger here today.
Yeah, and one of the things that we talked about in the previous games is, in provinces like Manitoba, Saskatchewan, it's easier for teams to get together on a provincial team and practice. I'm not sure, looking at this BC roster, there are lots of athletes from the same schools, but there's a lot of different schools and towns represented here.
Yeah, it's never easy as a province to get together between the different programs, especially, hearing from the chat that there's different leagues. So some players might be in season, some are not. Some are used to a certain set of rules, some are not. I think there's a disadvantage when a province, has different styles of football. Of course, in Saskatchewan here, we can speak about how it's extremely uniform. There's a culture and there's a foundation has been put together where at least they know what to expect and they get to practice on the weekends because it's a 2-hour drive. So a bit of an advantage at times for smaller provinces like Team Saskatchewan, who is ranked number 1.
So, first and 10 now, ball in the 18. Fortier will motion those running backs up. He'll turn. He will hand it off to number 22 there. Finds a little bit of space there and keeps his feet moving. That big Quebec O-line keeps moving the ball.
I'm hearing here that Team Quebec under 16 is undefeated all time. It's the same in the West. Team Saskatchewan undefeated of all time. And maybe it makes a lot of sense since at the U18 level, a year or two later for these athletes, it's Team Saskatchewan and Team Quebec being ranked number 1 and number 2.
Yeah, it's too early to predict the matchups that we'll see here in the rest of this tournament, but Team Quebec looking very strong here to start this game. Obviously, Team Alberta and Team Ontario winning earlier in the day as well. As Fortier takes the snap, looks to throw, looks to his left, has a receiver that time, and no call on the play. Olivier, I see you calling for it. I kind of thought it might be as well.
I thought there might have been some pass interference there, but there is not. It'll be 3rd and 2. Quebec making a decision. Are they going to kick a field goal and try to go up here by 4 scores in this first half? Or will they
Daniel-
just go for it with the offense?
Daniel Smith with the coverage there for the BC defense, as we see Quebec sub some athletes on here, looking like it's going to be maybe a jumbo package.
I love this. Jay Mills watching from the U.S., but keep up with the CFL. Go Alouettes.
Zachary Deschamps in at quarterback now here on this third down. As there's a late player, the gates are up, so they're going to have to burn a timeout if they don't want a penalty here. As they will, so Quebec will take a timeout.
The timeout it is. I'm a bit surprised to not see the field goal team out there. A chance to go up 4 scores, go up 25-0 in the second quarter, but Quebec wants to work on this short yardage offense with the second quarterback in. We saw them do that with success earlier today. I thought they might opt for the delay of game there and just take a field goal or even have their field goal unit out right at the beginning.
You and I watched a bit of the CFL game last night, and we commented on how awesome the environment looked there at Percival Molson Stadium in Montreal. Packed house there, obviously undefeated Alouettes, and love seeing the support at the pro level as well in Montreal right now.
Yeah, for sure. I think the Montreal fan base, when their team is winning, they do a great job. This was a night where CF Montreal was also playing at home, I believe, so you had 2 full stadiums, in the same city. It's impressive and nice to see. The full stadium is always fun.
Absolutely. Love seeing the support in the CFL.
Mateo Kopech. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Getting a lot of love as well in the chat.
So third down here as Quebec will come out from that timeout. Zach Deschamps still in at quarterback. We saw him score a touchdown already today on a QB sneak.
A little confusion here on Team Quebec offense. The receivers are all switching sides. Tight end is set.
Deschamps in the backfield. Both running backs step up that time. He'll turn. He will hand it off inside the middle there. Big hole inside there, and that's going to move the sticks for a first down.
Yeah, on 3rd and 2, they managed to get almost 10 yards. It's going to be 1st and goal from the 2.
As you see the Quebec running back signaling first down.
Jay Mill with the reminder that the Alouettes used to be the Baltimore Stallions.
That is
back
true.
in the day when the CFL had teams in the U.S. and, of course, converted some fans from American football to Canadian. I love talking about Canadian football and their rules. I think it's a game that is wide open. It's fast. It's exciting. I love the timing rules as well versus the American game. I find that at times to not, if you will, bring great energy or entertainment towards the end of the games. But in Canadian football, it's never over.
No, you're right. The timing rules is one of the most differential rule sets from American to Canadian football. And you're right, American football, if there's a couple minutes left on the clock and the other team has no timeouts, it's pretty much over. But in Canadian football, that's a lot of time, and you see a ton of comebacks in Canadian pro and amateur football because of that timing rules.
Thank you for the help again in the chat. Michael, for example, number 7, it's Sactor. We don't know. We don't have the phonetic pronunciation, so we will make mistakes all day, but we're doing our best, and we're thankful for you guys at home helping us out, when it's needed.
Yeah, definitely appreciate Samson Sactor making some nice plays on that on BC. 8 at quarterback this time. It's Maxim Lantandres this time. Takes the snap and flags down on the play. We'll see, looking like an offside. Olivia, you can probably help me with the pronunciation there.
Yeah, Maxime Latendresse, he's listed as a receiver, 6'4", 250. So as a quarterback sneak option, he's probably just a heavier body that's capable. Maybe he's played quarterback before and he's used to handling snaps under center. But, Team Quebec, maybe they have 3 QBs in the roster.
Yeah, so it is going to be an offside against that BC defense. They'll take that penalty and remain first down. As we see Latendresse stay in at quarterback.
Good job, Christopher.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
As Maxime Latendresse gets ready.
Maxime takes the snap this time, goes off the right side, and another flag down, likely in the offside territory, but he is in for a Quebec touchdown.
Yeah, it looks like Team BC is lined up offside again here with consecutive snaps, but Quebec gets it in, taking a commanding lead in this first half.
Wait for the official signal from our referee.
Penalties declined.
So it will be a touchdown Quebec as they increase their lead to 28-0 with 5 minutes left here in the first half. That extra point attempt is up and good. 29 now on the board for Quebec. So Olivier, game 3 here on day 1 of the tournament. You and I will be here for every game of this tournament. We have number 1 host team Saskatchewan taking on number 8 Manitoba after this at a 7 p.m. kickoff here in Regina.
Yeah, we just saw Saskatchewan play against Manitoba in the U16 challenge. They had a game on Wednesday. Manitoba had a really good showing. Ended up finishing 4th in that tournament, as we mentioned, and Team Saskatchewan taking on the gold. They've never lost a game in the history of their U16 program. They had a dominant gold medal performance. One of the things about Team Saskatchewan's culture, they're not going to beat you with razzle-dazzle. They're a program where I think the kids are learning something at U16. They bring it to U18, and there's just so much continuity in what they do, and I think that's their strength. So you're not going to see a flashy team. You're going to kind of know what to expect. They're just very good at it.
As Tristan Charpentier gets ready to kick this one away once again. He's shown his leg strength a few times today already. Another nice kick here. That one's going to land around the 11-yard line. Caught in the air by the BC returner. And met right away there around the 27-yard line. Ball comes out, but the whistle had gone, so that will be a BC ball still.
So Liam Gagné gets to retain position for his team. BC will take over.
Good call by the officials there. Forward progress was stopped for a couple seconds there, so ball coming out late.
We've seen 2 quarterbacks out of Team BC, both very capable. I was watching in warm-ups. I was next to them as they were slinging the ball with their receivers. 2 QBs that seem to have pretty good arm strength.
Parker Orr in this drive for Team BC out of Vancouver College. He's got Matthew Chapman in the backfield behind him. Chapman leaves the backfield there. Quick screen this time, right side, caught, but falls down right away, and there's a flag down on the play as well. We'll see what the call is here. It looks like maybe an offside or a procedure call. So that is a offside against Quebec. That's going to move the ball up 5 yards and make it 1st and 5 for BC and Parker Orr. Parker, high snap there, is going to have trouble dealing with it, and he's just going to have to get down, and that's going to be a face mask, and they're going to get another 1st down out of this.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. Samuel Dolan coming in.
Not malicious in any way.
No, not malicious at all, but the hand is right on the helmet of the quarterback, so they're going to call that every time. It'll be a 1st down for BC.
Hard to ignore when the helmet comes off on that one, but again, didn't mean to, just the way it worked out with Parker having to go up for that high snap and trying to protect himself. Definitely not meaning to do that face mask there.
No, nothing malicious there.
So BC will take that 1st down. 4:39 left here in the first half. That's going to move the ball all the way up to the 48-yard line now. Orr and Chapman in the backfield. Orr takes a snap, looks to pass, going to look right. Quick ball, batted down though at the line of scrimmage by the Quebec defender.
That Team Quebec is just showing so much speed, athleticism, and strength. They're going to be hard to beat.
Yaya Nadaye with the knockdown. We've said his name already today, having a nice game. Second down now. There's an injured BC player, one of the O-linemen, Shamar Solberg, as the medical staff comes out for BC.
Good crowd today, Mosaic Stadium. If you tune in for the next round of games on Wednesday, we'll be at Leibel Field. That's Regina Minor football home ground, if you will. A nice facility as well, but not a CFL stadium. It'll be a very different look and feel for the athletes, for us as well, and for you at home. Yeah,
we've talked about how loud the crowds are here at Mosaic, obviously helped out by this bowl here at Mosaic, but Leibel Field a bit more intimate of a field, and expect the crowds to be a factor on Wednesday. Solberg is able to walk off there with the trainer. So 2nd and 10 coming up now. Warren Chapman still in the backfield for BC. Some confusion there that time. Orr does take the snap, looks to throw quickly to his left, complete that time, but brought down right away once again by that Quebec defender.
Good pitch and catch, but the quick passing game just not enough there for BC as they needed 10 yards and only able to muster a 2-yard gain on that play.
Logan Rubo with the reception, brought down by number 28, Heaven Lacombe. These BC defensive backs are not afraid of being aggressive, that's for sure. So BC will punt this one away. 4 minutes left here in the first half, as Andrew Lawson is set to kick. That gets a nice punt away. Caught in the air by number 19, Olivier Dallaire. And he'll be brought down right around the 40-yard line.
Team Quebec using a nice punt return strategy. I love it. There's one returner back, which means they have 11 players near the line of scrimmage, able to play very physical. Not necessarily to pressure the punter, but sometimes just to hold up the upbacks and the line players from BC. And we saw at least 2 double teams in the backfield there with success. It was nice technique by the Quebec punt return unit.
Louis Fautier still in at quarterback here. He'll get the snap, he'll play action. Look over the middle that time, over the seam. Quick pass, nice throw on the play, but falls incomplete.
Olivier Dallaire, who had the 2 long receptions last drive, is unable to come down with this one. I still think that Tyler Mercier, that Louis Fautier, the quarterback from Quebec, has been extremely accurate all day. Although, sorry. No, you're right. I'm making mistakes here on my own notes in terms of who's playing quarterback for Quebec.
So Fortier will face a 2nd and 10 here. He'll get the snap. He'll look to his right this time. Doesn't find someone. He's going to have to scramble. Gets it away. That's going to be almost intercepted on the play. And BC is going to force a 2-and-out here.
Yeah, and there you go. Right on cue. First, if you will, uncomfortable pass where wasn't as accurate as you wanted to be. Maybe a bad decision on that one, but still playing a good game overall. Team BC needed that stop. They're down 29-0, and they're going to get the ball back here with roughly 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. They need to score.
They do. They want to try and put some points up here before the end of the first half. You see Tristan Carpentier gets ready to punt this one away. He's had a great day kicking the ball. Number 45, Quinn Kayfish, set to return this one for BC. A little bit of a high snap there. Does a good job, almost blocked on the play. Kayfish is going to have to come under that one. Catches it in the air that time. We should see a no yards, and there is. Great job by Kayfish coming up and catching that in the air.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job of the return to get underneath that ball as fast as he could. He collects a no-yard penalty on top of everything else, so BC will have some decent field position here.
3 minutes left here as we'll hit the 3-minute warning. Quebec leading Team BC.
No live statistics, unfortunately, for this game and the next one, so we don't have access to them for the next 2 games. But I believe they will be posted on the Football Canada site following the games a bit later today.
The officials are just getting ready to mark this one up 15 yards. Liam Connolly back in at quarterback for BC on this drive. Pharaoh Hassan in the backfield. As the 3-minute warning is whistled in. Connolly takes a snap, looks to throw, quickly off the right side, batted down at the line of scrimmage though by that Quebec D-line.
That's number 90, Chicoutimi, Zachary Desbiens. I know you've got a few fans in the group chat who mentioned your name earlier today. It's a nice knockdown first down.
That is. We've seen that Quebec D-line make some nice plays at the line of scrimmage. Great job, great technique, getting that throwing arm hand up there by the D-lineman. So 2nd and 10 now, ball on the 45. Time stopped under 3 minutes now on the incomplete pass. Connolly in the gun. And whistles before the snap there, and that's going to be a time count, something we've seen far too often so far in this day one.
Yeah, we talk about the challenge at times. You know, you're not playing on your normal program. Maybe your coordinator is not used to working with your quarterback, and things are a little bit longer to get to you. And it's not like you've had a lot of football games together. Sometimes we're a bit out of sync on these things, and unfortunately, it's something that's going to hurt BC here.
Yeah, and Quebec is going to have the option here to either choose a loss of down. I believe it's an automatic loss of down. They're giving them the choice, actually.
That's right. Under 3 minutes to go at the end of the quarter, the time changes. The rules changes when you're inside the 3-minute warning. So BC loses it down there. It's the same thing as an incomplete pass. So it'll be 3rd and 10 for BC, and they're going to be forced to punt.
Yeah, they will send on the punt team as we see an injured player down for Quebec. That's number 5, Ariel Dikisi.
Seems to be cramping up, although making assumptions from 150 yards away and 6 different levels.
That's right.
We're going to assume, using our binoculars, that he's cramping up on the field here. Pour nos amis du Québec, de la belle province, c'est disponible de voir le match aujourd'hui en français. Il y a un lien différent sur le YouTube de Football Canada qui vous permet d'écouter le match en français. On va continuer en anglais ici, mais je vous salue tout de même et je vous invite à écouter où est-ce que vous voulez.
Oui.
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 Christopher, you know, it's good for me to speak French a little bit because I grew up in New Brunswick. I'm bilingual. I just don't get to practice it often.
That's right. I know that you enjoy the opportunity to do it when it comes. Nice punt this time, and that's going to be caught at around the 25-yard line. Makes one person miss. He has some blockers here. If he can find the lane, he does. Good job by the BC defender to track him down eventually. That's number 44, Maddox Elson, saving another big gain.
You know, watching these games from up here and commentating on them with you, it's our, let's see, their 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th game this week. I'm repeating myself a lot with you, but as I keep seeing punts land inbounds towards the middle of the field, I keep seeing the same thing, big returns. And I think there's so much to be said about punting the ball out of bounds or near out of bounds. There's a lot of value to cutting the field in half in your punt game. And teams who keep the ball in the middle, bad things happen.
Kevin Lacombe with a great return there for Quebec. Fortier will take it, look to throw here some pressure there, and it's brought down for a sack. I think he was looking to the left side for one of his receivers. I think this might be an illegal contact as I was trying to spit it out during the play there, as there is a flag down.
Yeah, BC feeling good about their sack, but there's a good chance they'll be coming back against them. We're going to be looking at 1st and 5 here near midfield.
So still 2.5 minutes left here in the first half. We see that Quebec is not afraid to throw it here with Fortier, trying to put some points up before the end of this half.
Yeah, and Louis Fortier has been playing very well. I know I'm repeating myself, but you know, we're talking about a first-year quarterback in the program. He's 15 years old, so he gets to play in Canada Cup again next year if he wishes. He's a really good player. That was a 10-yard penalty, so 1st and 10 coming up here on BC's 48-yard line.
Ball on the 48 now. 48 in the backfield. Motions his receivers, takes a snap, looks to throw, looks to his left, takes a shot, has a receiver open there, caught. Finally brought down, but that's going to be a Quebec first down. Another flag down in the backfield, this time in the area of maybe holding.
As Ryder Bird mentioned, he would for sure be like Ray Lewis. We'll give you that one, Ryder Bird. I won't challenge you on it. As the chat indeed has been interesting this game. We encourage you to participate in the chat, also to keep it friendly and kind and constructive.
Olivier Dallaire there with the reception, but it is a holding, so now 1st and 20 for the Quebec offense.
Quebec has gone away from the run lately. They've been so successful in the air. Do they look to just run the ball here and make this a manageable second down?
I think they've shown that they're happy to put the ball in the air. We'll see here as Fortier takes it, looking to throw this time quickly out to the right that time to number 11, but that falls incomplete. Nope. That's 12 still. It looks like it if you don't see the bottom of the 2. But a nice job, Fortier, still in a quarterback here. So 2nd and long now for the Quebec offense. Fortier takes the snap, and it's going to be a screen pass, and that's going to be tipped, and that's going to be intercepted by the Quebec defender, BC defender, Wyatt Poitras. Nice play on that attempted screen pass there.
Good for Wyatt, the linebacker at Kelowna, BC, making a big play there on 2nd and long. It's a big turnover. BC has a chance once again to maybe drive down the field and put a score before the half, something that would encourage them and make them feel really good.
So they're going to get the ball here right at midfield.
Zach King, we just finished the U16 Western Challenge. We will not be at the Eastern Challenge.
Not unless Football Canada wants to fly us out there, although you're busy here going to New Brunswick after these tournaments.
Coaching in the U18 Women's National.
BC will have the ball at midfield there, looking to pass there, has a receiver open on the left. That's complete there, and that's going to be good for another maybe 8 yards. Caught by number 34. That is Brady Schutz.
Good play design, getting the ball to the big 6'5" receiver, nearing a first down here. Team BC playbook wide open here on 2nd and 2, likely going for it on 3rd down.
Connolly, the quarterback there. 2nd and 2 here coming up. 2 minutes left in this first half. Connolly takes a snap, pitch this time to the right to number 22 there, but nowhere to go in that backfield as that Quebec defense stuffs them right away for a loss.
Zion Isagohi, I got that wrong for sure, out of St. Lazare, setting the edge, forcing the ball carrier to turn back in. That's a big loss because now we're looking at 3rd and 6.
Yeah, we saw the BC coaching staff start to send the punt team on, and now have changed their mind, and they're going to keep the offense on here, and now there's a timeout, it looks like, as our head official goes to speak to one of the Quebec captains.
U18 Women's National, let's go. Yeah, you know what? It's been great to see the growth of women's football. I know that in Quebec, there used to be a very strong program. They're rebuilding now as they're seeing teams, welcoming teams from Ottawa and from Ontario as well. So there's a bit of a league being rebuilt over there. And in Atlantic Canada, there's been women's football for 15 plus years, and Western Canada is strong as well. So it'll be nice to see the U18, how that develops as it will be held in New Brunswick in a couple of weeks.
Liam Connolly, a quarterback, gets pressure right away. There's flags down, completes that pass. We'll see what the flags are. You know, I shouldn't comment on it, but I hear the fans in the stands with an air horn blowing right there. Made it tough for the receivers to hear the snap.
Yeah, perhaps. And the receiver, you're saying that, yeah, the receivers were offside, so this play will come back to haunt BC. It'll be 3rd and 11. The Indigenous Cup was great to watch. 6 versus 6, it's very different. Yes, indeed, 6 versus 6 football is very different. Team Saskatchewan and their rosters have a lot of 6v6 players, 6-a-side as they call it. Fast football game where the linemen, they're all tight ends, they can catch the football. It's very, very interesting. It's fun. And I believe the U18 tournament will be 6v6 as well in New Brunswick. So that'll be fun to do as well. Football Canada's coming off flag football from Indigenous football to U16 to U18, back to U18 women's. It's a non-stop season right now for the staff at Football Canada.
Yeah, as we see, unfortunately, number 16, Liam Connolly down, although he's sitting up now off the turf, which is good to see, getting looked at by this BC athletic staff led by Greg Fitch. And Connolly's able to run off under his own power, which is awesome to see. He'll be back in this game later, I imagine.
One of the fans, I'll say, from Team BC, yelling at the officials, "You're like Andre Proulx." That's one of the best officials in the CFL. I remember seeing a report, and I won't name from what team, who did a Missy survey, looked at data from CFL official. Andre Proulx being the most consistent official in the CFL on that given year. So
Parker Orr in on this 3rd down. Deep shot over the middle, complete to his receiver, moving the chains for a 1st down.
So a compliment to the officials from the crowd here. Brady Schutz. It's not the first time we say his name. The 6'5" receiver making a big grab over the middle. Great 1st down for Team BC.
Minute 30 left here in the 1st half.
Good momentum, good drive at Team BC.
Nice job by Parker Orr coming in after the injury to Connolly there right away, throwing a strike. He's going to look to throw, take a deep shot on the right side that time, but that one's going to go out of bounds and fall incomplete. Intended for number 1, Dante Meyer.
We're getting salutations from some Argentinian fans in the chat.
Nice, nice. You've had the chance to travel. Have you been to Argentina?
No, I've met a lot of Argentinians, though. Very kind people, very generous people. While I was in South America, in Peru, and Guatemala.
Not friends coming up
Colombia.
on Tuesday, though, right? As Team Canada Soccer.
That's right,
Tuesday
Team
Wednesday.
Canada men's soccer facing the number 1 ranked Team Argentina.
Parker Orr in the gun, takes a snap, looks to throw, looks right, taking a shot over the seam again, and that's complete once again to number 12. That's a great catch by Matthew Chapman.
It's a great job holding on to the ball as Adam Belmudin was coming in with a big hit, but that's a 1st down BC. It's a 1st and goal from the 10 with a minute 12 to go in this 1st half.
Looking to put up some points here before the end of the half, just over a minute left. Ball on the right hash. Parker Orr doing a great job coming in on this drive midway through after the injury to Connolly.
This is a big and important drive for BC. They're down 29-0, but they want to do is score here and feel good heading into the half.
We've seen them trying to take advantage of the seam routes. They've had success this time as Orr will take it. He's getting pressured right away, gets hit on the play, but gets the ball away for a BC touchdown. A great job by Parker Orr getting hit and delivering a strike.
Oh, you said it. Parker Orr taking a lick here. He knows he's going to be pressure in his face. He finds Brady Schutz once again. His 6'5" trusted receiver over the middle. Touchdown, BC.
So a great job, Parker Orr out of Vancouver College, coming in and leading a great drive after Connolly had to go down his quarterback teammate, as we see BC line up here to go for 2. Matthew Chapman in the backfield. Orr takes the snap, looks to throw that time. Trouble with the snap this time. He's going to have to try and run it himself. He's getting chased there by the big Quebec D lineman. Gets that ball away. Falls incomplete. A great job by Orr just to get that one away, though. So that will keep this score 29-6 with a minute left here in the first half of Game 3 at this 2024 Football Canada Cup.
And a comment here in the chat. This is British Columbia's first touchdown at Canada Cup since 2022. I just looked it up, and the last year's result, BC had scored 2 field goals last tournament and a safety. So this must feel good for BC to finally get on the board after a long time away from it.
Yeah, great job by that offense there, taking advantage of some big plays over the middle. That's something that the Quebec defense is going to have to clean up here in the second half.
Yeah, it's nice to see Team BC come to life. They have athletic players. They've got big, strong receivers. They've got 2 good quarterbacks, I thought. So it was nice to see them, get a nice drive together right before the half and kind of tell Quebec that, hey, we're not done. We'll put up our fight.
Now, tough part for the BC defense is going to have to limit Quebec here from scoring with a minute left. We've seen Louis Fortier's arm strength, and I don't think Quebec is afraid to try and go for a score here before the end of the half. Andrew Lawson getting ready to kick this one away as it comes off the tee.
Andrew Lawson from Southridge Secondary in Surrey, BC. Gets to reset here as his bright orange cleats. Takes his footwork. Seems to be aiming right down the hash, perhaps a bit to his left.
Gets a good kick away. That's going to land around the 16-yard line there. Caught in the air by the Quebec returner there. Makes one person miss and then brought down just over the 30-yard line.
Nice tackle by Sebastian Gaspard, the defensive back from Kelowna. A little celebration after the good special teams play.
Antoine Fafard in on the return there for Quebec. So they're going to start 31-yard line. 56 seconds left here. They still have 1 timeout remaining in this first half. Louis Fortier is in still at quarterback. Running back's motion up, takes a snap, hands it off this time, makes one cut, makes another. He's got a seam up the middle there that time. Going to cut back in towards the hash marks there. A great job by the Quebec O-line and the running back there for a first down.
Now, Chris, we've done this is our 7th game this week, and it's the first time that we see a team stick with 1 single quarterback in the first half. We've seen a lot of substitution in that position, which is uncommon in football, but in these tournaments, we often see multiple quarterbacks get in the game.
It is, as we see Fafard takes another handoff there this time, breaks off, spins one, makes a man miss, makes another one there. He's going to have to follow his blocker there. He's hard to bring down. That's a great job, and apologies, that's Sebastian Marie there. Keeps his feet moving and gets all the way down to the 46-yard line.
Sebastien Marie out of College Notre Dame. Wow, what a run. He made 4 or 5 guys miss on that on the way to his first down.
So 28 seconds left. Quebec still has a timeout here in the first half. As Marie comes off now for a breather. 2 backs in. Louis Fortier in at quarterback. He's going to look to throw this time. Takes a snap, looks to his right, wants to take a deep shot. It's not there. He has to scramble, and he's still there. Maybe confused the D lineman there. Ends up getting a few extra yards. I think the BC D lineman let up thinking the ball was away.
Quebec going to use their timeouts here smart. 14 seconds left on the clock. They're obviously trying to get more points up on the board, so they'll take a timeout, stop the clock, as they see themselves about 42 yards away from the end zone.
Yeah, finally brought down on the play by number 67 there. That's Evan Hamilton, Sean Barson for Team BC. But it looked like Fortier was going to take a deep shot there. He didn't like what he saw, tucked it, and almost got sacked in the backfield, but does a good job just to get a few yards on that play.
Nothing wrong with a young quarterback saying, I'm not throwing that anywhere. If I don't see an open receiver, I'd rather keep it to myself. There's nothing wrong with that. Although in Canadian rules, we all know that a incomplete pass that crosses the line of scrimmage results in incomplete. It's not like in the American game where there's a penalty for intentional grounding. So as long as your ball crosses the line of scrimmage, you'll be okay. So you can always check it out of bounds past the line of scrimmage or even in open space. He elects to tuck it, The clock continues to run, so they use a timeout, but not a bad play by the young QB.
It is number 67, Evan Hamilton, who is involved on that tackle that's currently down, as he's able to get up now and head towards the sideline. So 14 seconds left, no timeouts left either team. I think we'll see Quebec maybe look to take a shot here on second down, maybe get some yards and put themselves in a position to try and score a touchdown here, or just kick a field goal before the end of this first half.
I was looking to see Noah Bart on the field or maybe Tyler Mercier, but we'll see who they go to here.
So Fortier in the gun, takes a snap. He is going to look to throw. Looking to his right, he wants to find that receiver on the slot. On the out route there, great job by the BC defensive back to knock that one loose. That's number 33, Jack Roberts.
Gabriel Nadeau finding the ball into his belly, but immediately hit by the defensive back from Team BC. That's great coverage.
So decision now for Team Quebec. It looks like they're going to keep this offensive group on. 3rd and 7, 9 seconds left here in the first half. We've seen Quebec run screen passes on second down. They've had one knocked down, I believe one intercepted even earlier. So we'll see here if they maybe look to just to take a deep shot here with 9 seconds left. Fortier will take the snap, sit in the pocket, has time, throws it deep this time. He's going to be intercepted on the play by the BC defender. He's going to have to cut back there this time, and the receivers do a good job of rallying him there. He's still going though. And a great job by the BC defender there on the interception. That is number 18, Anderson Bicknell.
And a good momentum changer type of play for BC as they are zeros on the clock and the official signals the end of the first half.
So Quebec will go into halftime leading this game 29-6 over Team BC here in Game 3 at the 2024 Football Canada Cup.
Years old, yeah, plays on.
Oh, so one of the people saying how good Victoria, college, factory football players, home professional players, but it made me start going like, I know, we got
Yeah. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of this Game 3 here at the 2024 Football Canada Cup. Quebec leading BC 29-6. My name is Chris Hadisbeck. I'm joined with Olivier Eddy. Olivier, what are we expecting here in the second half?
Well, I think Team BC got themselves a bit of momentum. They closed out the second quarter with a touchdown or interception. Team Quebec, however, have been tough to stop. They've been running the ball well and passing the ball well. We also talked a lot about young quarterback Louis Fortier. He's been, to me, the player of excellence on the field today, especially for a first-year guy who hasn't played in this tournament before and is an underager, as we call them. He's been playing very well. So bright spots on both sides of the ball for Team Quebec, and BC getting a bit of momentum. But for BC to stay in this game, they need to do well in this first possession here.
They do, as Quebec is set to kick this one off here. No kick it deep. Returned by number 1. That's Dante Meyer. there. He's going to get the ball over midfield, breaks the tackle, breaks it out. He's going to try and hit this sideline. He's got a ton of room out here if he can hit the corner. Going to be tracked down eventually around the 50-yard line. And that's a great start for the BC special teams.
It's a great start, and I caught number 8 on the side of my head. That's Gabriel Curry, I believe, with a block. He held this guy for about 15 seconds. Now I'm worried that he held on way too long and he's going to get called back here.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's likely coming back here. We'll wait for the official call.
Trying to get a number here.
And that one is going to be brought back. We'll see where they spot this one. And they're going to put it on the 35-yard line.
Okay, well, not a bad field position for Team BC. They start on the 35-yard line. That's usually a fairly average position to start after receiving a kick.
Parker Orr to start this drive for the BC offense. Parker takes the snap, looks, hands it off inside to number 12 that time. And a good couple-yard gain on the play there. That is Matthew Chapman on the carry.
Chapman's going to get 3 yards here and looking at a 2nd and 7.
Zakel Dabien on the tackle there for Quebec. Second and 7, ball on the 38. Orr and Chapman in the backfield for BC. Orr takes the snap, looks at the quick pass that time. Has to take it himself that time, makes a good decision, slides down. That screen pass looked like it was going to be knocked down, and did a good job to get any positive yards there.
Yeah, good decision, Parker Orr. Only problem is he QB slid about 4 yards short than first down, so that's going to be a punt for Team BC and a quick 2-and-out. Smart quarterback slide as I look at the replay here. You know, there's not a ton you can do in a situation. If you fight for extra yard, you might get one more, but you're risking a big hit, and you're going to be punting anyways.
As we see Andrew Lawson come out to punt this one away for BC. Good snap on the play. Lawson takes that, punts it away. One's going to be a little short. Good job there. Dropped on the play though. Muff. It's going to be recovered by one of the Quebec, not returners there, but one of the blockers there. A good job to end up on that one.
Yeah, number 28, that's Heaven Lacombe. We talked about him a little bit. We talked about his brother winning a gold medal. He's in the right place in the right time to make sure Quebec retains possession.
Yeah, dangerous there for the Quebec special teams, but good job by Lacombe to fall on it.
Mr. Pancake asking if there are some 15 years old as well playing this tournament. Yes, there are. We were talking about Louis Fortier, the Quebec quarterback. He's been excellent, and he's a 15-year-old. It's a rare thing, but there are some players of that age group here in this tournament.
Speaking of him, he is in at quarterback here to start this second half. Throws the ball into the flats there. Nice job. Nice play execution there. And that's going to be a big first down for Quebec.
Sébastien Marie, the running back for Collège Notre-Dame, gets the reception and the first down.
Cole Shanks with the tackle for the BC defense. Quebec's looking to go fast here on this drive. Before he takes it. And same play this time to the left side. Lots of room on the right side, or on the left side for Marie. And that's another big first down as there's a face mask called at the end of this play.
Back-to-back, same plays to the field side. They're just switch or they change hashes. They're going to collect at about 50 yards out of those two plays once we add on the penalty. An easy-looking drive so far for Team Quebec. They certainly saw something that they discussed at halftime, and they're exploiting it now.
Yeah, we saw them coming out fast. They know what their play calls are, and good execution that time. Fortier throws such a nice ball. You know, he has great arm strength, but very catchable as well.
Honestly, he's been, to me, he's been extremely impressive as I stumble on my words, realizing that that's not a face mask penalty at all. They're going to be calling holding on Team Quebec, so we've got a first and 10
like after yards gained. Yeah, it's interesting. They threw that right at the tackle there, so I thought it was maybe a face mask, but it will go against Quebec, so it'll be first down, ball on the 47-yard line as Fortier takes that, He'll look, he'll pass it to his right. That time, dangerous throw. That one falls incomplete.
Is one of the rare misses by young quarterback Louis Fortier. Good job, Team BC, making that cloudy for the QB. Sometimes as defensive backs, your job is to create a picture for quarterbacks that are not easy to read and forcing a second and long.
So 2nd and 10 now. Ball still on the 47-yard line. Fortier still in at quarterback. Takes a snap, looks to throw, looking to his left, throws it left that time, has his receiver, caught by number 11. That's going to be a first down. Noah Barth on the reception.
That's Noah Barth, who we saw early in the game, but not a ton in the second quarter. I was wondering maybe Quebec is just rotating players in and out a bit, but he's one of those stellar receivers for Team Quebec, and it's good to see him involved again.
So that's going to move the chains for Quebec. And first down now. Ball on the 32. Fortier lines up with 2 backs in the backfield now. Motions them up here. Hands it off to number 21. That time, lots of room on the left side. Good tackle by the BC defender. Flag down on the play.
He'll get himself 8.5 to 9 yards before the penalty here. We'll wait and see if we're looking at second and short or something different.
Andrew Gaumont on the run there.
Early indications are holding against Team Quebec.
That is going to push Quebec back now. Force it into a 1st and 20. As Fortier here, we've seen Quebec go to the running back screen pass sometimes in their long down situations here. Fortier looks to throw this time. He's going to look, has a crosser, looking for it. It's not there. Throws deep. He has a receiver wide open this time on the right side. Good job by Fortier to find his receiver on the backfield, and there's a late flag this time. We'll see what this one is.
Good job extending the play by the young quarterback, using his feet and the entire time staying in a position where he can deliver an accurate pass. It's a great play for Quebec on 1st and 20.
Number 16, Hugo Bachon with the reception there. Great job by him, finding the open zone, helping out his quarterback who was scrambling as well. So we'll see what the call is here. As Olivia and I are just having a little chuckle up here, as trying my best to pronounce these Quebec names. I am not bilingual like Olivier is, but doing my best.
You're doing a fantastic job, and you know, my guess is as good as yours at times. They're not people that we know, that we've coached or interacted with, so we're doing our best. But yes, Hugo Beauchamp with the reception out of Saint-Julie, Quebec.
New quarterback in here for Quebec, Zachary Deschamps, and maybe related, I don't know, we'll see. And we've seen him come in once in a while here on quarterback run plays. The sticks are not set here, though, on that far side. They're going to have to take a second to make sure that they're good, and there they go, realizing that they got to extend the chains.
Zach Deschamps, he's from Laval, and when he's come in so far in the game, it's usually been on short yardage situations, but it's his 1st and 10.
Yeah, so maybe a tell of a QB read. We'll see here if they let him throw this one here.
Same package, he's got the single tight end in the boundary, threw his hitters to the field. It is their short yardage look.
So Zach will take the snap this time. He will just hand it off inside to number 22 that time. Spins, gets a few extra yards that time. That's Jonathan Kieta on the run.
2nd and inches, a likely stick here with their short yardage package. Been very successful for them. They're using a tight end. That's receiver Maxime Latendresse out of Collège Bourget in Quebec.
Gain him 9 on the play, 2nd and short here now. As Zach will take that snap, he'll turn, he'll keep himself this time. He is going to look to throw. He takes the deep shot though. That's a dangerous throw, and that's intercepted on the play. Going for a bit too much on that one.
He went for his tight end that time. I said, yeah, that was really well covered, and Team BC would be in a great position to make a play, and good for them to come down with the football.
Yeah, it's number 2, Brady Doucette with the interception out of Robert Bateman Secondary School in Abbotsford, BC. Nice play there. Good job staying with his receiver and coming down with the interception.
Well, BC once again holding down the fort. It's bend but don't break. They get an interception in the end zone. They'll get the ball back on the 20, and the second half so far is 0-0.
So they'll take over there. Ball on the 20. Parker Orr in at quarterback here for BC. He'll take the snap. He'll turn, hand it off inside of number 12 that time, but met right away by a handful of those Quebec D-linemen.
Swarming light blue-colored defenders all over the ball carrier on that.
Zion Izagohi in on that tackle on that D-line.
Shout out to the Victoria's Mount Doug Rams. 4 players, it seems like. Greenwell, Brown, Solberg. 3 players, my apologies, on that from that team playing for Team BC.
We'll take the snap. Pressure that time. Gets it away, and looks like, we'll see here, no call. Looks like the defensive back was maybe tugging at a little jersey there, but that one's going to fall incomplete.
Quebec dials up the pressure on 2nd and 8. They came out of that after that quarterback on both sides. There's some protection issues from Team BC. Yeah, nice cover 0 look and getting 2 free defenders to the quarterback, not just one. Ball falls harmlessly to the turf. We'll be in a punting situation.
And Lawson coming on to punt this one away for the BC special teams unit.
Quebec again going with the single returner side. It's a good way to defend against the fake. It's a good way to also attack the punter or attack the coverage units. It's aggressive scheme by Team Quebec on the punt return.
Marie back to return for Quebec on this one. We saw some troubles on the last punt. Ballwood on the return almost turned over there. Lawson gets a nice punt away. Marie's going to catch that on the 52. Troubles on this one too. Picks it up off the bounce, and he's not going to go anywhere there after that.
No, that bobble did not do any good for him, so BC gets a really good exchange there, about 35, 40 yards net on the punt exchange. Really good punt by BC. They're playing well.
Brady Doucette in on that tackle as well. Got the interception on the last drive for this BC defense. Doing it on special teams as well. Quebec's going to start now on the 52-yard line.
Back with their regular offense here on the field. It's not the single tight end look anymore. It's the classic 3-by-1 set for them.
As Fortier is back in at quarterback now. He'll motion his receivers. He'll turn. He'll hand it off to the right side that time. Not much going there. Nice block by his old lineman, and only ends up getting 2 or 3 on the play.
I want to give credit and good discipline to number, is it 33 from BC? He's their leading tackler from the first half, and I'm going to get his name right here. He deserves it. That is Jack Roberts, a defensive back from Lord Tweedsmuir Secondary. He's played very well in the first half. He's leading his team as tackles, and that was a nice disciplined play there with being patient as he comes in and makes a tackle. 2nd and 8, ball on the 54. Fortier takes the snap, looks to throw. He's going to look right. Has a receiver open that time. Almost intercepted again by Doucette, though. That one falls incomplete. BC dialing up some different looks here, maybe creating a bit of confusion. They've had the best out of this Quebec offense in the second half.
So that's going to force a punt. Doucette making plays here for BC.
Absolutely. BC showing absolutely no quit after being down 29-0 fairly early in this game. Is now 29-6, and they'll receive the ball back. Brett Hendrickson, I love the different helmets, good reps for the programs. Yeah, I absolutely love that too. It's a reminder to all these kids, they don't play with each other every day, right? They might actually be rivals from different schools. But this week, they play on the same team, they represent their province, and it's been a good showing so far.
Carpentier ready to punt this one away to number 45, Quinn Kfish. Had a nice return earlier in the game. Good snap. And blown dead here. So some early movement maybe. And Carpentier, a little trouble with the punt there. Maybe heard the whistle and took some off it though.
He's looked solid all day, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that he kind of just let that one go after hearing the whistles. Looks like Quebec's going to back up 5 yards here.
So it is going to be a procedure call against Quebec, so that's going to back them up. 3rd and 13 now. Nice snap that time. Buncher gets the snap. Gets a good punt away. K-Fish is going to catch that around the 28-yard line. Good job catching that in the air. Not much there, though, as the Quebec defender breaks the tackle. K-Fish has a ton of room on the right side that time. He's going to head to the sideline. He breaks the tackle from the punter. We'll see here. He's going to take this all the way for a Team BC punt return touchdown.
Fantastic play by the special teams unit, Team BC, scoring now 12 unanswered points. They're making this a game. It's 29-12, extra point pending. You got to feel good if you're a fan of the black and orange.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job by K-Fish there. I didn't think he had much. Broke a tackle, though, and then found that sideline. And a great return there for him and the special teams unit.
Now, Chris, I'm repeating myself, but I'm going to say it. If you
Punt it
leave
to the
those
sideline.
punts in the middle of the field, bad things happen. It's been the theme all week long in U16 and U18. We've just seen so many good returns. I mean, you're kicking the ball to likely the best athlete of the entire province on the team you're playing against. And those guys don't make you miss. So if you kick it in the middle of the field, bad things will happen.
We have an injured Team Quebec player down here. You're right, Olivia. We've talked about this earlier, and once again, you know, you think these punters maybe are just missing their spots or being coached to punt it in the middle, because it's happening all the time.
Yeah, it's happening more than you want to. Now, let's keep in mind, these are not professional athletes. They're not U-Sport athletes yet. They're playing the U18 level. So do they miss once in a while? Yeah, absolutely. I've got a feeling that most coaches are asking them to directional punt. It's usually what you do in the Canadian game just for this exact reason, right? You know, there's no situation where the opponent will fair catch, right? There's the halo rule, so it does make our game fun, electrifying. But as a punter, you got to try and cut the field in half and really, kick that ball maybe on the numbers or maybe more outside of the numbers. There's no penalty in amateur football for the ball landing out of bounds, regardless of where on the field. So take advantage of that and play it safe. And I think, yeah, teams have been getting caught all week long in these tournaments by leaving the ball inside. Yahya
Nadaye, the injured player there for Team Quebec, as he's able to stand up and walk off here gingerly. It looks like maybe an ankle injury here. We'll see. Don't want to take any guesses, but
we'll do our best at home, for you guys at home. I know there's a few fans here for Yahya, who's limping off here with an injury. We can't speculate on injuries, how serious they are, how not, but we'll let you know if we see anything serious. Most of the time we get these players hobbling off. They'll spend some time with the trainers, and then we'll realize that they're doing quite fine, so we'll try to give you an update best we can from the booth.
Andrew Lawson set to attempt this extra point, snap down, kick up, and the kick is good. That will make the score 29-13 with 5 minutes, 25 seconds left here in the third quarter. And BC has 13 unanswered points.
13 unanswered points, and they're down with 2 scores. They just scored twice in a row. They got to do it again and get their 2 points converted to tie this game up. But Quebec received so dominant in the first half. Surprise, surprise, BC has no quit in them.
No, for sure. Maybe we'll see Quebec, knowing how they played in these tournaments, maybe start to get a little aggressive. They got aggressive, and it's cost them earlier in this half.
Yeah, and one thing Quebec hasn't done in a while is go back to the run game. They've got 3 returning linemen from last year's tournament. We saw them being dominant in the first quarter. They went more towards the pass. They've kind of stuck to their first quarterback the whole time. He's been playing well. We'll see what they elect to do here on this next drive.
Lawson getting set to kick this one off.
Looks like Antoine Fafard, number 14, is in the right spot to receive this potential deep kick.
Lawson's kick is deep there, deep to the right. Fafard going to catch that off the snap. Has a little bit of trouble with it, but does a good job rallying there. Has a seam up the middle there. Gets over to the 46-yard line, so even after a decent kick and trouble on that, he still gets close to the 50-yard line.
Yeah, solid return. I'll tell you what else I liked. I saw some 2 Team Quebec defenders, after getting a BC player on the ground, kind of turn around and help the player get back off their feet. We're seeing some good sportsman-like conduct, some positive sportsman-like conduct. Has been fantastic to see that. As we see a Team BC slow to get up, they'll bring the medical staff out.
That is number 1, Dante Meyer, down on the field right now.
Jason Murphy is asking, how does tiebreakers work? Is it points for or differential? I don't have the answer to that question. We can try to find out before the next game, but I assume they're using regular Football Canada type of rules that are set in place. Of course, there are some strict rules and a strict procedure to go through these things. They quite often, who am I kidding? There's no ties in this program, is there?
I don't believe so. I believe in this tournament that they would go to an overtime style. Just trying to get confirmation here for everyone at home watching this game.
Yeah, I believe it has to be an overtime style because this is not a round robin tournament. When you lose, you lose down, you move down to a different bracket. When you win, you move up. So there's no opportunity for a tiebreaker. Nobody's going to play this, another same team that somebody else has played. We're heading to overtime.
Yeah, we do have the schedule set for day 2 of this tournament on Wednesday based off the winners and losers of today's games.
Yeah, so there's no such thing as a tie. The question is, are we traditional overtime period? Are we doing a shootout style from the 35? I don't have the answer for you, but I'll try to find an answer.
Dante Meyer still down on the field here, getting looked at by the medical staff.
Anybody knows who scored for BC? Well, the last touchdown was on a punt return. That was number 45, which is K-Fish Quinn. Was it Quinn K-Fish? My apologies. The first touchdown was number 34. That's Brady Schutz, the tall 6'5" receiver from Kelowna. You're asking tiebreakers for seeding. Well, that's not exactly how it works. Towards the end of the tournament, you'll have just a game between 7 and 8. The winner will finish 7th, the loser will finish 8th. You'll have a game between 5 and 6, and so forth, all the way to 1st and 2nd.
Yeah, so for day 2, we'll see those matchups. Game 1 at 10 a.m., loser of game 1 and 4 play each other. At 1 p.m., loser of game 2 and 3. And then at 4, winner of game 3 and 2, and winner of game 4 and 1 will face each other for the right to go and play for gold medal on Saturday. Louis Fortier still in at quarterback for Quebec, as you mentioned, Olivier. One of the only teams, although we have seen a second quarterback now for Quebec at times. You see here if they're going to try and stick to the ground game, something they've gone away from as of late. Fortier will take the snap, he will turn, and he will hand it off that time to number 24. Gets a decent gain on the play, maybe 6 or 7 yards.
Yeah, looks like a positive gain on first down. I think Quebec needs to go back to their ground game. They've been great in the air as well, but their O-line is just playing so well that I'd be handing the ball off or maybe using play action and small passes to try to get more yards here against BC.
Maddox Elson from Kelowna in on the tackle there for BC. 5 seconds left on the play clock here. 14 motions, and receivers takes the snap, turns, hands it up to Murray, up the left side that time, but Matt right away is going to get enough for a first down, though, as that Quebec offensive line keeps pushing, and that will move the chains.
Yeah, he gets 5 yards after contact where it helped his defensive linemen. It's a first down, Team Quebec, after back-to-back runs. With 4 minutes and 15 seconds and the time trickling down in this third quarter, I expect Team Quebec to continue doing more of the same.
First and 10 ball on the 51-yard line now. Forte in the gun. He'll take the snap, turn, hand it to Murray. This time on the right side. Met right away, though, and a great job by the BC defender. That's number 44, Maddox Elson, on the tackle.
Maddox Elson, linebacker out of OKM, that's in Kelowna. The nice play, forcing a second and long, and now we'll see Team Quebec likely go in the air. A couple of substitutions for Team Quebec.
3.5 minutes left here in the third quarter. Forte in the gun, 3 to his right, 2 to his left, takes it, play action, looks left, has a receiver on the flats. BC's gonna have to make that tackle, and they do, forcing a third down and a decision here for the Quebec coach.
Decision, and Quebec has been aggressive all day. This is 3rd and 3. They're up 16 points. They are in BC territory. They're subbing in 2 players. I believe that means the offense is staying on.
Yeah, subbing on the other quarterback, number 18, Zachary Deschamps. And we saw a great tackle on the play there by number 33, Jack Roberts, forcing a third down.
So Deschamps' been running the ball mostly. He's had one pass attempt, didn't result in his favor. But he's been running the ball and handing the ball off quite well.
Third and long here for him. Takes a snap, hands it off inside of number 22. Met right away, keeps his feet moving, breaks the tackle, and he's going to break that for a long play here, and he's going to take that in for a 44-yard touchdown for Quebec.
That's a 44-yard touchdown with about 43 of these yards coming after first contact. We thought BC was going to stop them cold for a turnover, but no. Complete turn of events. It's a touchdown for Team Quebec.
As you see on the replay here, number 22, Jonathan Guetta, does a great job spinning off contact there, finding the sideline, using that speed, and getting a long touchdown run for Quebec to snap that streak by Team BC.
Well, big turn of events. You know, BC, who had scored 13 unanswered points, they were inches away from a stop on third down. Instead, it's Quebec taking a 3-score lead.
Quebec will attempt the extra point here. Snap down, ball up, kick is good. And that will increase Quebec's lead 36-13 with just under 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. So we're looking ahead a little bit to our next game. Team Manitoba playing host Team Saskatchewan. What do we expect in that one?
Well, you know, it's the number 1 team ranked playing the number 8th team ranked. It's on paper maybe the game that should have the biggest spread in the tournament. That said, Team Saskatchewan's not returning a ton of players from last year's program, and on any given year, there's always a Cinderella team there somewhere, so maybe Manitoba has the tools necessary to make this a good game. Now, we do expect Saskatchewan, you know, they're not ranked number 1 for no reason. They've been successful year after year, and their U16 program keeps winning as well. So, you know, we expect Team Saskatchewan to be the dominant force in that one. But let's not count Manitoba out until we see what they got.
Bourget's kick caught by number 6, Liam Gagne there. Trying to return, he has some room on the left side, breaks the tackle there, hits the sideline, and pushed out of bounds there. Looked like it was close to a late hit, not called on the play there.
That felt like a late hit to me, but Team Quebec really escapes without that 15-yard penalty. Team BC will get possession once again on the 35-yard line. Just getting noticed, we're going to be joined very quickly here by WWCFL All-Star quarterback Amy Kowalski. We'll get a chance to chat with her and talk women's football and her journey in football here in Saskatchewan.
Liam Connolly back in here now for BC at quarterback. Takes a snap, looks to throw, looks to his left, has a receiver number 15 open on the slant there. Nice job making a cut there, moving the chains. That is 15, Kareem Mohammed, his first reception of the day.
Nice, a 14-yard gain on the quick slant. That's a quick throw and catch for the QB. I love the quick footwork, getting the ball out with his receiver and letting his receiver get the yards.
Good job by Connolly. We saw him go down with an injury earlier. Parker Orsby doing a good job for that BC offense, but Connolly coming in, throwing a strike on first down.
Good shout out here from Matt Pfeiffer saying that we're doing a good job on the broadcast. We're having fun, Chris.
That's right. Congrats, Matt Pfeiffer, our former coaching teammate and friend on a U16 Team Saskatchewan win the other day. Connolly takes the snap, looks to throw, looking to his right, trying to take a deep shot, hit on the play. That's complete to Mohammed. Once again, lots of room this time over the middle, and that's back-to-back big plays from quarterback to receiver.
I said Kareem Mohammed is just waiting for an opportunity to get on the field and make some plays. It's back-to-back receptions. He's already accumulated 35 yards.
Yeah, I saw him out there earlier. He's hard to miss with those bright cleats, but now getting a chance to make some plays, and he's making the most of it.
Ben LaRose from Manitoba. Chris, is that one of the players from the U16 tournament?
The name sounds familiar.
Well, shout out to Ben LaRose regardless. I feel like he might have been on screen yesterday.
So Connolly takes the snap. Pressure coming from Quebec. He's going to have to get away quick. Getting hit on the play, and that is a sack as he holds on to that one a little bit too long.
Big time pressure by Team Quebec. You know, they don't blitz all the time, and when they do, they come and get you, and that was big play here when they needed it. They're forcing a second and extra long as the time dwindles down here. We're going to see the last play of the third quarter.
Antoine Baudon in on that tackle. Second and 18 now, ball in the 44 for BC. And this Liam Connolly-led offense here right now. He'll take the snap. He's going to look to throw. Looking left, looking over the middle. He takes that shot that time. That's going to be complete. Short of the third down, or the first down line, but giving them a chance to go for it now on third.
Yeah, it sure does, and that's what you want out of a second extra long. You just want to be in a position where you can go for it.
Liam Gagne on the reception there, doing a nice job to go up and scoop that one. That brings us to the end of the third quarter. Quebec leading BC 36-13 in the third game of the 2024 Football Canada Cup.
Nice and important first down reception there for Team BC on third down. As BC keeps on driving, we're joined here in the booth with WWCFL All-Star quarterback, Regina, right? Amy Kowalski.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you. Now, Amy, you're a woman of many hats. You play football, you also work in football. Let's start talking about your playing career. How long have you been playing football for?
I just completed my 11th season with the Riot.
That's 11 seasons of women's senior football. You've also played for Team Saskatchewan. You've also played for Team Canada. How was that experience?
Well, it's always a great opportunity to represent your province and your country. I got to travel over to Finland in 2013 and see a little bit more of the world and see what it actually felt like to wear a maple leaf. It was, a great experience, great opportunity to meet other football players across the country, across the world. Came home with silver medal. So, yeah, it was all around a great opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this season, Amy, you and your team, you finished, had a chance to coach on the team with you. You had a 1,000-yard passing season in the regular season. That's a WCFL record. You end up the season with 1,600 yards, counting the playoffs. Good season, although only finishing second. As I'll interrupt this with Team BC finding a way to the end zone, although we have flags on the play. If this holds, we'll be looking at 36-19. BC's not showing any quit. But back to this, Amy. Great passing season for you at the quarterback position. Lots of new and young receivers on your team. Are you, 11 years in, are you still going to be playing for a few years?
Yeah, I don't plan on hanging up the cleats quite yet. Probably got another couple of years in me at least. Some exciting things happening on the football front with potential for senior women's nationals next year, and then following up with another Worlds event the year after. So lots to look forward to, lots to work towards, and yeah, it was a great season all around. It's awesome to see some younger players step up and fill some roles.
As Team BC lines up going for 2 here, but swarmed under pressure. Quarterback trying to make something out of not much going on here. The score will remain 36-19. BC making it a 17-point game. It's a 3-score game with 10:36 to go. Good on BC, no quit on them. Amy, sorry to interrupt you on that one. Let's move on to the second hat you wear. You're physically wearing it right now, Football Saskatchewan. You've been working for the provincial sport organization for a few years. Tell us about your role.
Yeah, so I'm the Women's Growth and Development Coordinator here in Saskatchewan, the southern part of the province, with Emma Raydale being my counterpart up in the north part of the province. I oversee the U18 female squad for Team Sask here, as well as developing the football programs around the province, in both rural and city programming. So.
Now, we've seen a lot of growth in women's football in the province, and that's not just by itself, it's by design. There's 2 of you employees working Football Saskatchewan, helping that happen. Is these positions, do they also exist on other PSOs across the country, or is this unique to Saskatchewan?
I think it's pretty unique to Saskatchewan. We have incredible leadership amongst our PSO, and vision from Jeff Yowzy years ago, and wanting to work towards having that equitable programming for both genders across the province, and he's created amazing opportunities for women in our province, and giving them all the opportunity to play football at both the youth level as well as the senior women's level as well. So
yeah, and it's sure paying dividends. We see a Team Canada roster, the women's senior national team, comprised of almost 33% players from Team Saskatchewan. Now, we all know that that's not appropriate for the population amount, but it's sure showing that these efforts made by Football Saskatchewan, they're going far, they're making a difference. Amy, thank you for joining us in the booth today. Really appreciate it. It's nice to hear from you. And I'll let you hand your mic back over to my colleague, Chris Hadisbeck. Good luck in your next season, Amy, and thanks for joining us, and good luck all week with this tournament.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks so much for having me, and you guys are doing a great job up here, so keep it up.
Thank you, Amy.
So we see Louis Fortier there, pressured on the play. Big hit by that BC defense as they are motivated here. Still in this game, 36-19, 10 minutes left here in the 4th quarter.
Chris, 10:19 to go. Does BC still have a chance here?
I think so. They're sending a lot of pressure. They got in there that time, forced a bad throw, got a hit on the quarterback. Second long, they're sending more pressure this time. Fortier holds onto it and knocked down on the play. Great coverage that time by number 25, Benjamin Shepard, the linebacker.
I'll tell you what, the crowd is alive here. It's a Team BC crowd. It's how it feels. They're loud. They're happy with their team. This second half, if I'm not mistaken, the score is 19-7 for BC, and they're about to get the ball back.
They are. Good job. Good series that time by the BC defense.
Shauna telling us Team BC is showing grit. Yeah, absolutely. That's the word to use it. They're not quitting at all.
Carpentier comes out to kick this one away as K-Fish is back there. He had a big punt return for a touchdown last time. We'll see if he can get another one here.
You know what I'm going to say for this punter?
Kick it out of bounds, right?
Kick it towards the sideline.
High snap that time. Does a good job to catch it there. And that time it's almost blocked by the BC defense. It's going to land short there as K-Fish is going to come up there and finally pick it up. No yards, not called on the play. Good job by that Quebec special team staying out of that 5-yard halo.
I believe it was partially blocked, but by rule, if the ball crosses the line of scrimmage, it'll be treated as a regular punt. So the no yards rule is in effect. That 5-yard halo, you must respect it. Good job by Quebec staying disciplined, but they only get about 15 or 18 yards in exchange there. Team BC is going to feel pretty good about their chances. 9:43 to go. This is what they wanted.
Yeah, as we have an injured Quebec player down here right now, although it looks like he's going to be able to walk off and be okay as the medical staff comes out to take a look at him.
Michael Jones out of Quebec, telling us that the LFFMQ League is an all-girls 6-a-side, 6v6 league in Quebec. They just wrapped up their first year. super cool to see. I know that in Saskatchewan here, we've had football, the youth level or women's only youth level for a while. I know that, believe it or not, it's New Brunswick who has the oldest running league, high school league, 6-a-side of women's football with female football, been running for 20 plus years. But it's good to see that it's starting to develop in other provinces as well. It's a big part of our sports and it's growing fast.
Obviously, women's football very important to you and I. Over 13 years coaching experience each in women's football as number 16, Liam Connolly in at quarterback here for BC for this drive. Very important drive for this offense. See if they can put another touchdown in here. Looks like Quebec's bringing pressure. They do. Picked up that time. Gets hit on the play, and that one's going to fall incomplete. Connolly was facing a lot of pressure there.
Good job picking up the blitz, from the running back, but still one player getting to the QB. They almost were able to connect there for an important game, but it's going to be second and long.
It is. Quebec is showing their desire here to force a turnover, force a big play. They've gotten in on the quarterback a few times, some big hits that time, and that's another one there.
Jason Murphy mentioned the BC staff done a great job adjusting to the Quebec's aggressive style of play on both sides of the ball. Now, I have to say, yes, they're winning the second half.
Connolly takes the snap, looks to throw, looks left, throws it left. That one's going to be dangerous, almost intercepted on the play, and falls incomplete, now forcing a 3rd and 10 and a decision for this BC coaching staff.
Yeah, not the greatest pass on that one. That was a dangerous one. We've got an injury on the play as well. That's Dante Mayer, the receiver from Abbotsford, who's down on the ground getting looked at by the staff. Chris, 3rd and 10, 9-10 to go, down 17. Do you have to go for it here?
Have to? No. Now you have both timeouts. Both teams have 2 timeouts. I think, you're on your side of the field here. They've had some good punts, so it's not the end of the world if they punt this one away. Still lots of time in Canadian football. However, it is a 3-score game.
Yeah, and now in these situations, it's obvious if you have the punt team out that you might actually be running a fake. Or are we in these kind of tournaments where it's difficult to have a ton of fakes on for special teams? And I know these players, they don't get 30 practices before game one. So do they have even fake punts type of things installed for game one? Or are we only going to see those kind of things on the last day of the tournament?
It's interesting. We saw on the U16 medal game that there was a handful of fakes ran on that day. We talked to a few of the staffs there about some stuff they had in their back pockets. So I think some teams might have them. Whether they want to use them on day one or not, though, is going to have to wait to be seen. Shout out to Lisa Harlow sending me a message here during the chat saying we're doing a great job and loving the promotion of women's football. Absolutely, Lisa.
Lisa Harlow being one of the pioneers of honestly women's football, definitely in Atlantic Canada at a minimum. She's coached at a high level. She's played for the national program as well, and I know she still coaches, still very much so involved, and have been a member of the Football New Brunswick team on the board for years and years and years, and same for her. Her father, Larry, put a lot of time as well, so that family is really well versed with women's football in New Brunswick.
So BC is going to go for it here, 3rd and 10, ball on the 43-yard line. Liam Connolly in at quarterback. He'll take the snap. Pressure coming. He's got to give this one away. Breaks the tackle. He's going to have some room. He's going to keep it himself that time. Fumble on the play, though, and that's going to be picked up eventually by a Quebec defender. He's got some room on the sideline. Pushed out of bounds at the 23-yard line.
Tough decision for him on 3rd and 10. Pressure in his face. He does the right thing. He escapes the pocket, finds a way to keep the play alive, but tucking and running against that Quebec defense swarming him, not an easy thing to do, and Quebec gets the best out of that exchange and looking to seal this game now.
Adam Belbaudin with the scoop there and almost score. Nice job by the BC lineman to force him out of bounds and prevent that.
So Quebec now with the opportunity of closing down this game and advancing to the next round. They just need some points on the board here to make this a 4-score game, pardon me.
Where he throws that to the right. That is caught by Sebastian Marie, and short gain on the play.
Yeah, they'll give him a gain of 1 or 2 here maximum. So looking at 2nd and 8, already in field goal range, up 17. Quebec can likely start slowing things down here, using the time to their advantage as they look to close out this game.
So 2nd and 8, ball on the 22. QB change here on this play. Zachary Deschamps. We've talked about him a few times.
We sure have. He's come in kind of a secondary role, done his job very well. We'll see what he's got in store for us.
High snap on the play. He's going to have to go back and get this. He'll fall on that. Does a good job just falling it, but that's going to force a punting situation now for Quebec.
That's Jonathan Kita out of Collège Notre-Dame in Montreal, or perhaps Jonathan. I know in Montreal there's some of the schools are English-speaking, some are French, so I'm just going to guess. Intelligent play to fall on the ball. It's not one of those situations where like you're trying to make every yard out of it. Your job is to protect the football here. It's okay to let your punt team come out. You've got the lead. You're up 17. So intelligent play by the young running back.
So we will see Tristan Carpentier come out to punt this one away.
The BC returner waiting in the middle of the field.
And he's expecting this one to go all the way into the end zone here. We'll see as Carpentier looks and aims to his right. He is going to kick that towards the pylon there. It lands short, bounces back, and picked up finally there by the BC returner. And it will be a no yards call eventually.
So BC will start their drive with 6 minutes, 50 seconds around the 25-yard line-ish. They have to score 3 times, Chris. It's a tough task.
It is a tough task. Time running down in this game.
A good showing by Team BC. I thought that Quebec came out and asserted dominance early, but weren't able to close the game. BC slowly kind of crept back in, right? It was 29-0 as we recall. Since then, 19-7.
Yeah, we've seen BC have some success throwing the ball, especially over those seams. We'll see if that's something they look to stick with here on this drive. Just under 7 minutes left here in the game.
Now the challenge is that Team Quebec knows that BC needs big gains, so we might see a lot of loose coverage where Quebec is making sure that they limit the gains, maybe leaving bigger windows open, but nothing deep.
It is O'Connelly in at quarterback, takes a snap, looks to throw, pressured once again, and he's not going to escape. That's going to be another sack for the Quebec defensive front 7.
Yeah, Emile Paradis, he's a returning player. He's the only returning player on that defensive side of the ball for Team Quebec. He comes out with a big sack and making it BC's job near impossible now.
Loss of 7 on the play, so 2nd and 17 here coming up now. Whistles here as Quebec takes the timeout. Didn't like their play call or something they saw. There was also a flag down, so we'll see what the officials say here.
I'll tell you what I didn't like at all is the fact that 11 players on the field. So their D lineman actually jumped the gun, touched the offensive lineman, basically saying like, okay, we'll give you 5 downs, 5 yards here. We don't want to let you snap the ball. But I believe Team Quebec got their timeout off before that even ever happened. Some discussion about shotgun versus under center in the chat. I mean, yeah, shotgun is, or pistol, whatever you want to call it. It's taken over the game now for quite some time. We don't see a ton of teams under center, at least at this level of football, minus the short yardage situations. Chris, are you a big fan of one over the other? Do you see a big difference in terms of, you're more of a defensive side of the ball kind of guy?
No, I mean, as you mentioned, more of a defensive guy myself, but I mean, I see the benefits to both. However, you see a lot of pass-heavy offenses, especially as you get to the older ages, so shotgun makes sense. As we see 2nd and 17, Quebec did get that timeout off in time. Parker Orr in the quarterback, looks to throw, swings it out to his right. That's complete that time to his running back, Matt Chapman. Makes one man miss, and is going to make it 3rd down as there's some late pushing and shoving there, but no call on the play.
Great job by Chapman. You know, this could have been limited to 2 or 3 yards. He makes the first man miss. That's his job as a running back, elite athlete back there. He gets 7 or 8. Unfortunately, we're still looking at 3rd and a long way. 3rd and 8.
Yeah, 3rd and 8. They are sending on the punt team.
Looks like Team BC is packing it in. Not saying that in a negative way, but they're choosing to punt in this situation. They're going to play and live for the 2nd game, which is still totally fine. Number 7 ranked team. If they win their 2nd game, they'll advance their standing and move forward in this Canada Cup competition. It can take more than 1 year to move from 7th to 1st.
So Andrew Lawson will step on to punt this one away to number 28, Heaven Lacombe. Low snap. Has to pick it up off the turf there. Gets it away and gets a booming punt this time. Lacombe's going to catch that at about the 43-yard line and steps out of bounds. That's an awesome job by the punter.
It's a fantastic punt. That's what we've been asking for all day. A punt that lands out of bounds, right? And they're going to net about 40 yards out of that exchange. It's fantastic for Team BC. They got to be happy with that.
Yeah, Andrew Lawson doing a nice job punting that ball. Andrew out of the Southridge Secondary School in Surrey, BC.
Now this game, not necessarily this one, but the afternoon has taken a little bit longer than what we expected. So our next game will be pushed back just a bit. So if you're waiting for the Saskatchewan-Manitoba game, it will kick off at 7:20 instead of 7.
Fortier still in at quarterback for Quebec. Pass complete to the left. Flags down on the play, though.
Number 7, Eamon Boisvert, the receiver out of École Secondaire Roger Comtois in Quebec City. Getting into the action, making his first reception of the tournament. And unfortunately, this one will not count as a penalty on Quebec.
Yes, offside Quebec. BC will take that.
BC may be ranked 7, but their uniforms are ranked number 1. Do we agree with that comment, Chris?
I think so. I mean, we saw the U16 uniforms for BC and the U18. They look outstanding out there. Love the black jerseys, of course.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for Team Quebec's baby blue as well. Not a color we see often, but I think it's a nice uniform as well. I think the uniform game has been on point this tournament.
Louis Fortier takes the snap, looks to throw, throws it right. You got to be careful there. Almost intercepted, but caught on the play on the tip there. That's a good job by the receiver. That's number 80.
That's Tyler Mercier, who's wearing number 80, but number 50 in our program. I'll tell you, a real 50-50 ball. You throw that twice, and maybe you've got Mercier making the catch for first down. Maybe the second time you do the exact same play, it's a pick 6 for BC.
Yeah, I thought when that ball was released, that was maybe going the other way. Dangerous throw there. We'll see if Quebec maybe tries to just keep the ball on the ground now.
You know, we've given a lot of praise to Louis Fortier, the young quarterback out of Quebec. I thought he had a very, very good first half. He struggled a little bit in the second. BC starting to get their bearings defensively and figure him out a little bit. It's been tougher for him, but Quebec sticking with the air game, continuing to work on it in this long tournament. There's also some mind games being played, as Quebec knows they are on film and they'll be evaluated and scouted for the next game. They might come out with a completely different game plan in game 2.
Yeah, timeout on the field as there's an injured BC player currently. So, Olivia, we see the Team Saskatchewan coaches in the corner there, many that we are familiar with. Had a good chat with our friend Paul Harrison this morning. He was sending me some updates on our discussion about peel back blocks, and of course we always refer to Paul when it comes to discussions and vocabulary in football.
Paul Harrison, the master of nomenclature when it comes to football.
That's right. If you're interested in his session, we can probably find that from years ago.
I bet you it's available on YouTube. YouTube Paul Harrison Football, and you'll get you'll get an hour-long conversation, an important one, on terminology. He's a firm believer in the importance of having good, concise, precise terminology in your program and how that can make a difference.
So, 1st and 10 for Quebec. Louis Fortier takes the snap. He will hand it off this time inside. Keeps the feet moving, gets a few yards there after first contact. The injured BC player on that last play was number 45, Quinn K-Fish. He's had a great game, including a long punt return touchdown. He was able to walk off, though.
Shout out to defensive lineman from West Kelowna, Sean Bastran. Stands tall at 6'4". You know, Chris, we were walking on the field in warm-ups, and I know we've said this once before, I'll say it again. I was impressed with the sheer size of these young athletes.
Oh, for sure. As Fortier, to interrupt that thought, throws a deep shot there. Great coverage on the play by the BC defensive back. And, yeah, as you mentioned, some incredible athletes out here. Great size on the O-line, D-lines from both teams, as well as at the receiver position. That coverage was by number 18, Anderson Bicknell out of Vernon Secondary. Great coverage.
Another 6'1" player out there on the field. Tell you, these are prospects to go play CJFL or maybe go play youth sport, see where they decide to go. Two extremely competitive leagues and options, and some of these guys we may even see play in the CFL one day.
So Quebec will be forced to punt this one away. Just under 4 minutes left here in the game. Pharaoh Hassan back to return this one for BC. He's going to attempt to catch that one at the 8-yard line. He does. Nowhere to go, though, and honestly, smart job by Hassan there just to protect himself and get down.
Very intelligent job by the punt returner. There's no reason to try to run through 5 players who are coming in full speed in front of you when you're returning a punt. Your job is to get possession for your offense, and he did just that.
So BC's going to start here. 3 minutes, 37 seconds left here in the game. In at quarterback is number 5, Parker Orr. Orr lines up with 3 to his right, 2 to his left. Pressure coming from Quebec that time. Parker almost gets lit up on the play, but gets that one away, and that one falls incomplete. Quebec not letting up with the blitzes.
Yeah, Quebec opting to remain ultra aggressive here on 1st and down, up 17 points with 3:18 to go. Is that a double halfback blitz, Chris?
It looked like it. We talked about Quebec not afraid to be aggressive, and they're going to stick with that game plan here towards the end of the game as we have an injured Quebec player down right now. That is number 27, Antoine Bedon.
That is correct, Brett. The 6'4", 210 pounds quarterback from Quebec is 15 years old. Sheesh, indeed. So we just talked about Sean Bastran. He's playing left tackle here for Team BC.
I won't be surprised if we hear Louis Fortier's name in the near future. Obviously, he's going to be at this tournament for quite a while now, but with the talent that he has and with the right work ethic, I expect to see him at the second level for sure.
Yeah, and I'm actually very impressed with his mechanics as well. I'm not a quarterback guru by any means, but he escapes the pocket, and he seems to be in a great position to still use his arm, and he looks to do so, and he's been impressive.
That time, Quebec does not send a lot of pressure. BC O-line does a good job giving Parker Orr time, but that will fall incomplete as they do send the punt team on.
3:09 to go. This game is nearing its end. It's going to be Team Quebec victory here unless we see a massive turn of events. But a good game by both teams. I think we saw Team Quebec's potential in that first half. I think we saw a team that can compete for a gold medal. And we saw BC bounce back after a tougher start. I was impressed by BC's resilience. In the chat, somebody said grit, and I absolutely agree. Both teams can walk out of here today, I think, with their heads held high.
So Andrew Lawson will take the snap. He will punt it out of his own end zone. He's had some nice punts. That one's going to be caught, kicked around the 37-yard line, caught in the air, makes one cut, makes a spin move there, and that's where he'll be brought down. That is Heaven Lacombe on the return.
We've reached a 3-minute warning here. We've been sitting here, Chris, since 8 o'clock our time this morning. It's 6:30. I can smell the pizza between the next 2 games.
That's right. I thought we negotiated no pizza double time on this one.
Oh, I'm not sure. There's something else that we're receiving. I see our good friend Scott Woloshin over here holding up some
dill pickle chips. That's
chips.
the best kind. I'm going to have to go steal those from him after this game.
We have to talk about snacks because it's a long day here in the booth.
It is. As the Quebec offense comes on here, 2 minutes, 40 seconds left in this game. Zachary Deschamps in at quarterback now, hands the ball off to his running back number 24. Seam up the middle there, does a good job, breaks some tackles. He's going to go in for this one for another Quebec touchdown on the 31-yard rush.
That's Dylan Latera, and that is, I'm sorry, number 34, Chris?
24.
That's Sébastien Marie, the running back from Collège Notre-Dame.
As we see the excessive celebration penalty come out for Quebec as they did the old rowboat celebration. Maybe see it on the replay here. We'll see, as this actually is from earlier in the game.
penalty will likely be applied on the ensuing kickoff and not on this point after. But a strong run by the running back, breaking 2 tackles early on and then splitting defenders on his way to the end zone. But yes, a classic Canadian football celebration in the end zone results in a 15-yard penalty.
I think it was the Calgary Stampeders back in the days with Nick Lewis that did that celebration. As Carpentier's extra point attempt is up and good, increasing Quebec's lead to 43-19 with 2.5 minutes left here in the game.
Carpentier is going to create an issue here as most of his footballs have been kicked into the stands, and we're running out of footballs here, but I see that their ball boys are going to retrieve this one. Making jokes here, of course, but he's a strong-legged kicker.
Yeah, we've seen some great kickers in this tournament so far today.
We really have. I've been impressed by the level of the kick game. You know, at U18, these young adults are almost fully developed in terms of explosiveness, and you see some big boots. Once again, if you're getting ready for the Saskatchewan-Manitoba game, that game has been pushed back to 7:20 p.m. I was thinking of our officials earlier today, Chris. 4 games in one day, 2 days off, 4 games again. I think most of them take a bit of a cycling substitution between games, between being part of the stick crew, but either way, it takes a toll on the body to be on the turf for that long, especially on a hot weather day.
It is, yeah. It's been a very warm day here in Regina. A little bit of smoke in the air. I don't want to say that word too loud. Based off last year, I think we should be okay. But as Quebec will kick this one away, Carpentier, that kick's going to end up in the middle with a little bit of a short squib one. Good job by the BC returner to catch it off the bounce and bringing that ball up to around the 47-yard line.
That'll be Team BC's best starting position after a kickoff return, or almost at midfield.
So BC will start on the 46-yard line here. 2 minutes, 18 seconds left here in the game.
For a number 2 ranked against a number 7 ranked games, I thought that BC did a good job. They had their moments. They made a few big plays, including a nice punt return for a touchdown. They're going to look to close this game and hopefully get another score and feel really good about their performance today.
Parker Orr in at quarterback. Man coverage by Quebec there, and that pass is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. We've seen a few batted down passes in today's game.
Yeah, that D-line from Quebec and the pressure overall has been pretty relentless.
Second and 10 now for BC on the left hash. Parker Orr in at quarterback. He'll take the snap, look to throw, looking left, looking right, finds a receiver. It's batted down at the line of scrimmage once again.
Yeah, and you can sense a bit of the frustration for the quarterback having his passes batted down often. He's not the tallest in stature. He's got to find a way to change his arm angle, and Quebec's just making the best out of the situation.
Zachary Debian with the knockdown on that one.
Yeah, 7:20 p.m. local time here in Saskatchewan. 8:20 if you reside in Manitoba. Thank you, Brett.
Takes a snap, third down here, looking to throw, trying to find his receiver open in the seam on the right side, but that falls incomplete, and that's going to be a turnover on downs for this BC offense.
I like the effort. You take the shot. I mean, you got nothing to lose, right? Then you want to try and see if you can't get a score to finish the game up. Instead, Quebec will take over on downs as we near the end of this fourth quarter.
We'll see here if Quebec chooses just to keep the ball on the ground, run this clock off, and get out of here with a win. As there's an injured BC player currently down.
No, it's a 3-score game. Not a bad performance by Team BC.
No, they definitely fought back. You know, it was looking bad there for a little while, looking like it might be a bit of a blowout, but BC doing a good job. They had 13 unanswered points at one point. They fought back, and as you mentioned that word a few times now, grit, they definitely showed it.
Yeah, I thought they had their moments, and they really came out of the half strong. Once again, probably a testament to the general manager and the type of snacks provided at the halftime, whether we're talking about oranges or maybe it was banana chocolate chip muffins, perhaps. A classic football halftime snack. You know, speaking of, so jokes aside, I was looking at the warm-ups here, and each program, each provinces, they have their own traditions, way of doing things. Team BC, their warm-ups, I saw 12 on 12 and defenders getting pick sixes off their quarterback, which I rarely see in warm-ups, but it was an intense warm-up. Team Quebec, very different. All the players on the sideline and one unit at a time going onto the field. So they got their field goal team out, kicking a field goal, then they came out. Offense came out, ran a play, then punt. It was a very different way of doing the pregame ritual. I found that interesting.
Yeah, one of the things we've talked about is how awesome it is with Canada Cup that you get to see different types of football, as Quebec will hand this one off this time. Room on the left side as the running back will go out of bounds, and this will stop the clock once again.
Big fan of the ball security there from Andrew Gomon. Very technical runner, keeping the ball high and tight on his left shoulder.
We'll move the chains and give Quebec another first down here.
I'll give props to his running back coach out of Collège de Montréal, or also known as Collège de Montréal, if I could pronounce that correctly for once.
So 1st and 10, ball on the 31-yard line. Time stopped after that out-of-bounds run. Zachary Deschamps in at quarterback. This will take it, will turn, hand it off, and a little bit of a read option there. Keeps it inside though, and that's a good run by the running back, number 22, Jonathan Guetta.
The running back out of Montreal showing that he's capable too. You know, it's been really running back 1, running back 2. They've been, I want to say 1A, 1B. I like using that terminology to mention that very capable runners. Team Quebec, very balanced as a team, able to put the ball in different players' mitts.
As we see Kita there head over to the sideline and a new running back stepping in. Deschamps takes it, turns, hands it off to number 21 that time off the left side there. Spins, breaks a couple tackles. Nice run there on first down.
The winner of this game, I believe, will be facing Team Alberta on Wednesday for a chance at either moving on to gold or losing and playing for bronze. So Quebec having an opportunity to move forward in the tournament, while Ontario awaits the winner of the Saskatchewan-Manitoba matchup that will be taking place in roughly 40 minutes.
Quebec letting the play clock run down here. Deschamps hands it off inside to the running back. That is Gaumont there as he's stopped before the end zone. 1 minute left down the clock.
Great effort, BC. Tough game. Huge shout out to number 78, Matt Kopech, aka the Truck. We've heard a bit about him. One of the fan favorites for sure here in the chat. Matthew Kopech out of Lord Tweedsmuir in Surrey, BC.
BC sending on 3 subs here for this first and goal play. Ball on the 2.
Are we not expecting a kneel down here from Team Quebec?
No, it looks like they will keep the offense on here and run a regular play as Zachary Deschamps takes it and chooses to keep the ball himself and runs that in for a Quebec touchdown.
I thought with 35 seconds on the clock, we'd see Quebec just kneel it down, but they elect to punch it in and take a lead that they look to make this score 50-19 with the extra point. Second game today where I find that and again, it's personal preference, but we're at the end of the game, in a game where you've half control of the football with only a few seconds left. Teams have the option of taking a knee, but second time today we see a team opting to put more scores up on the scoreboard. As I see Sean Alexiewicz here in the booth, head coach of the U16 program and special teams coordinator, University of Manitoba. He's been here all week doing a good job at his team with Team Manitoba, and he's surely cheering on the U18 Team Manitoba, who's going to take on the field next.
So that extra point attempt is good. 35 seconds left here as we await the end of this game and the number 1 versus 8 matchup here coming up. Team Saskatchewan versus Team Manitoba.
Chris, I'm going to say it. I don't hold back often when it comes to opinions. I'm just going to say it. Team Quebec should have taken a knee.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier, and you and I have had the pleasure of coaching with each other for a long time, and we're very similar in how we handle those situations at times. And Quebec choosing to run the ball and
excessive celebration on a touchdown before, 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty. Then they get the ball again. Instead of taking a knee, decide to run it in and run up the score. I'll be honest, I didn't like it.
Yeah, unfortunate to see, especially the excessive celebration at that point in the game. Didn't need that, I don't believe, as Quebec will line up to kick this one off here. And hope we can get out of this game without anything else here. That's caught by Liam Gagne there for BC. So 28 seconds left here. We'll see what BC decides to do if they want to keep the ball on the ground and just stay healthy. And
see, BC, they have the opportunity. They can decide, because they're trailing, to throw it up and try to score. They can also take a knee and call this game. There's no wrong answer on their side. I'll be okay with whatever decision they choose to make. But, Chris, you know what? We're up here in the booth. We're commentating. Maybe the other side of all this is that these kids, they only get 3 games, and you want to give them as much playing time as possible. I don't want to place judgment too early on these type of things.
It does look like BC is just going to choose to knee this one out. Get out of here healthy, make sure that there's no unnecessary injuries here. Parker Orr will finish this game for BC. He's made some incredible plays on offense today at that quarterback position.
Good job by the officials as well, managing these situations. I love seeing the officials being in between both teams and we take knees, kind of saying, hey guys, don't tee off on the O-line here. We're just taking knees, making sure nothing escalates after a hard-fought game.
So that will bring us to the end of this game. Team Quebec winning this one over Team BC in the 3rd game of the 2024 Football Canada Cup. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be back in a bit for the number 1 versus number 8 matchup, Team Sask versus Team Manitoba.
The winner of the Most Valuable Defensive Player of the Game award for Team British Columbia, number 33, Jack Roberts. Now introducing the winner of the Most Valuable Offensive Player of the Game for Team British Columbia, number 34, Brady Schutz. And now the winner of the Most Valuable Defensive Player of the Game award for Team Quebec, number 4, Yael Bidet. And the winner of the Most Valuable Offensive Player of the Game award for Team Quebec, number 19, Olivier Delay. Let's give it up one more time for both of these great teams. Thank you all so much for your attendance, ladies and gentlemen. And just a reminder, coming next is the finale of the day between Team Manitoba and Team Saskatchewan, with a scheduled kickoff of 7:25 p.m. Thank you all so much.
Will I feel the rain.